Ladies and gentlemen,
he said 10 a.m., but honestly, I forgot. But he said 10 a.m. I was going to try to do it before this podcast. Oh, did we change time? Did time change it last time?
Yes, yeah, we lost an hour.
I don't know what the fuck is going on, bro. I'm lost.
I wouldn't have known if my mom hadn't told me last night.
I feel bad though, because I don't like being that guy. I don't like giving my word and then.
Xavier's okay, dude. He's got a million people he can pull on there.
Oh, he does?
So, yeah.
Okay,
he was about to get me on. So.
Oh yeah, I don't like giving my word and not doing it. But honestly, like I've been tired. I've been a little bit. I've been tired. I've been a little bit off mentally. Honestly, I feel like I'm in prep. Like you get prep brain.
Yeah,
I'm feeling that way.
Started yet? What's the deal?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. It's so random. I feel like irritable and shit. I'm like, yo, what the fuck, bro? What's nothing changed. My cycle has not changed once. The whole cycle been the same. My food, if anything, is more food, but not like a crazy amount of food. I don't know, bro. I honestly couldn't tell you. I don't know.
Might be your menstrual cycle. You never know.
You know what? That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. So I don't know, man. It's super weird, but what are you gonna do? I gotta just be easy on myself. Shit happens. He said Nathan can do any time. 3 hours. I know probably good. Oh no, I'll be good. My bad, Zayd. What's up, Zayd?
You're muted, brother.
Oh, we can hear you.
Oh, sorry. How you guys doing?
What's up, brother?
What's up, brothers?
3 hours would be 3 o'clock. I'll be good by 3.
They changed the time today, bro. Just in case you don't know.
They did. It caught me off guard. PST. All right. I think
we gained an hour, right? Or no?
Lost an hour. Wait.
Hour.
Yeah, we lost an hour.
That's what it felt like. Yeah. Oh, Joe. I didn't know if Joe was going to do it. Yeah, I didn't know. I don't know. I'm all over the place. Hey, what's going on with y'all?
All right, guys, it's up to us. We got to carry the podcast today. Baby's all fucked.
Yeah, I wonder when you're in peak week, what we're gonna do, bro. You're gonna be.
I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna try my best, brother. But I don't know.
Right around June, July, this podcast is gonna go to shit. Zayd's gonna be like the only guy who's not dieting. Like we're not gonna have shit to say, man.
Yeah, don't worry, we'll carry you guys.
You know what it is? Like I like to be confident that I'm in control. Like I control my brain. I'm unbreakable, motherfucker. Yo, all that shit is bullshit. Because at the end of the day, when you start feeling like shit, it's not really up to you. You get irritable. You start acting weird. You get sensitive, and you're like, "What the fuck, bro?" You can't you can try your best to pretend, but let's be real. We're all breakable, motherfuckers. Like, and none of us are as fucking strong and cool as we think. Like, we all fucking breakable, bro. It is what it is. I just do a good job of fucking pretending I'm good all the time, fucking smiling at people and shit. But we're all
That's
just
all
human.
you gotta do, man. That's all you gotta do.
All men are like this, bro. Most men, they keep it inside.
Yeah, you just get a little quiet and shit, and you just keep going. What the fuck else we gonna do, bro? We still got to make some money. We still, we don't really we can't just rely on other people. Like at the end of the day, we got to still get shit done. So you feel like shit and you just get out of bed and you roll out of bed and fucking limp to the bathroom and get shit done, bro. That's life.
A little phentermine, get you rolling.
Yeah. What a beautiful life we live. What a beautiful life we live. You still rather be alive though than the alternative, right? All right. What's up, Joe?
Hey, what I missed? What the hell?
No.
I came in and it's like, are we having an intervention with Beatty?
Every time.
He sleeps too damn much. Life passes him by.
No, I was supposed to be on Xavier's podcast, but I guess I mixed up the times, and then we had some kind of daylight savings activities last night. Or some shit.
Apparently.
Oh, bro,
Yeah.
I had body work to get done at 8 this morning, and I was up late, so I saw the time go from 1:59 to 3. I was like, "Whoa, the fuck!" I was
There's,
like,
no,
"Did
there's
I
no
see
way.
that right?" And in
Yeah,
a way, that just happened.
there's no way. To be honest, bro, like I just woke up. Like I literally just woke up.
We know.
Bro, I only the only reason I'm on this podcast right now because I fell asleep and I set no alarm. And I got one of those like no caller ID calls.
Yeah.
It woke me up. I'm like, oh fuck! Like what? What time is
Yeah.
it? Turns out you
Listen,
were
like
ready.
I will say I love this podcast. What's up, Ken? By the way,
Again,
What's going on, brother?
Yeah.
what's up, guys? He's got the hat on to hide the
you got the
sweat.
hat. Yeah. But
Dude,
yo,
I'm all fucked up.
I love the podcast. I love talking to you guys, but I gotta be honest, man. I'm human, and sometimes I'll be out of it, bro. Sometimes I don't really want to talk. I just be out of it. But at this point, it's like I feel like a lot of people watch us and rely on us dropping episodes, and that kind of keeps you like on your game. It keeps me doing it. Not that I would stop doing it, but like there's days and weeks I'm like, yo, I don't want to do it this week. Even though I enjoy it, but still, you can enjoy something and still be out of it. But at this point, I feel like it's important that we continue to do it no matter what the circumstance is. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah,
Good
like
job, right?
I always miss some Wednesdays, so I can't miss Sundays. Like
Yeah.
I
Joe, that's
can't. Like for me,
That's exactly just what happened to me, you know, because Beatty just messaged me and like, dude,
Yeah.
I've been on a work trip. I literally got back on Friday from Alabama. I went to that Strong and Shapely thing yesterday. So today is literally my first day. I just opened my box, bro. So I was like,
Damn.
maybe I'm not gonna come on. But when Beatty, you said you're coming on, I'm like, damn, it's a job, bro. You gotta treat it like
yeah,
a job
bro.
sometimes.
When I lost that hour, I brought out the big fucking can. See that?
Damn.
Got the twist top
I didn't
today.
even see one of those in a
Oh,
long
boy.
time, man.
Yeah,
You know,
man.
we
I saw it. Okay, this is gonna be that kind of day.
What I
Yeah,
used to
man.
do in college, I'd get like the Rockstar, like fruit punch ones, the big ones that you can reseal, and
Yeah.
we drink like a third of it, right, and then fill the rest up with vodka, and then that's a good night, dude.
Yeah, bro.
man.
I live off this shit.
Yeah.
My drink is Arizona tea. I'm sure you know it, Stu. Remember
Yeah.
those cans? That shit's
Yeah,
crazy.
they're still $1, man. They've been $1 for like the last 100 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
my caffeine addiction actually started because I worked at a warehouse forever. Well, it wasn't a warehouse. It was within the warehouse of a big like company. It was called Cintas, and they're a uniform company. I don't know if you guys ever heard of them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We have
Yeah,
it's
so
big.
I worked there for 8 years. I moved my way up, right? And but I worked in the factory first, and they were offering overtime to me, but the shift was at 1 in the morning, and I planned to go with my ex at the time to Disneyland. I'm like, fuck, but I needed the money. And so I was like, okay, fuck it. I'm just gonna pull an all-nighter or whatever. I go to Disneyland, come home, it's like 11. I have to be up in like 30 minutes. So I lay down
Yeah.
30 minutes, close my eyes, hear my alarm. Well, I'm fucked. So I get up, and then they had like I just pick up a Monster. This is the first time I've had a Monster since 8th grade. Like I don't drink caffeine at all, and so it was a sugar one too, and like the regular one. And so I'm like, well, to get through this shit, it was like a fuck ton of labor. Like we were super backed up, and that's why they brought me in. But they're like, you have 8 hours to do this. It's a one-man job, so it should take up the whole time. I fucking chugged that Monster, and I did everything and more in 3 hours.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God. It was like, bro, that was like the best feeling in the world. I remember sitting in the back. It was still dark outside, and I was just chilling against the wall with my eyes closed, just trying to get to the rest of the shift. It was the best. that was the start of my caffeine addiction. I'm like, wow, that's what this could do.
Unlocking new levels.
Yeah, I was like, I'm unstoppable.
Yo, guys. Sometimes I feel like, right? I feel like as men, right? A lot of the times we feel like we have to be like the rock for everybody, right? No pun intended, but like we have to be like a rock in a lot of people's lives, right? And we gotta like, be the shoulder to cry on, and we gotta, you get the shit done and put our problems to the side. But at what point is it okay to be like, yo, fuck it? I just don't got it today. Everybody, you on your own. Deal with your own shit. I got my own shit to deal with. You know what I'm saying? I feel like at some point it's okay to just be like, you know what, everybody leave me alone.
That point is like 3 weeks out, roughly. At that point, no one's getting any help from me.
Yeah.
Like
unless you're
need
paying
a day
me to coach you, I'm ignoring you.
Yeah.
Beatty, just like you said, though, sometimes you just need a day, bro, to just go off routine, just decompress and just not do all the responsibilities and BS of day-to-day life, just unplug. You just need that day. Like I took off work tomorrow because, dude, I'm feeling like that since I got back. It's just grind. My girl and I were looking for a place too. So it's like looking for a place and then going to the event. It's like, bro, I just opened my box today, man. Like you just gotta unplug sometimes, It's
a little self-care day, go to the spa, drink some wine.
I know all that, bro.
Take a salt bath.
I know of all that.
I'm down for
one of my boys is a bodybuilder, and he works full time, and I think he has 3 or 4 kids, right? So I'm like, damn, because being a dad in itself is a selfless job. Yo, let's keep it a buck. Dads don't get no love and respect. Like today, a dad gets 0 love. It's all about like, you can do more. You got to do better. It's like, yes, we can all do better, but I feel like good dads get no love. Everybody talks about bad dads. Dads are shit. All this shit. Like fucking Father's Day, it becomes a shit on your dad day. You know what I'm saying? Or like a Mother's Day number 2. And it's like most dads get 0 love. So I watch this guy. It's facts. I watch this guy bust his ass every day, supporting his bodybuilding career and supporting his kids and wife and all of this. And as I'm not watching, I'm like, yo, I feel like he get like no love. I'm like, yo, you good, bro? Everything good? Yeah, I'm good. The other day, he was actually stopped. The DMV made a error on his license plate, and it was off by 1 number. I don't know whose license plate this was, bro. They stopped him, helicoptered everything, got on the street. His kids, they had a gun to his back. His kids all laid on the floor crying and shit. And he's right back in the gym, like, yeah, it was all over the news. I'm like, bro, you good? He's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm like, that's my thing. My thing with guys is like, we put on a straight face, but I want to know if you're really good, because you can obviously you're gonna say you're good. I'm like, yo, you can't be good after all of this, bro. But so sometimes I try to get people to open up, like, yo, you make sure you're good. You got to ask a couple of times, because guys just be like, yeah, I'm good. And like, nah, bro, talk to me a little bit.
I mean, that's crazy. Some people, it's crazy because some people would sue for,
I told him that,
mental, like
he definitely should if he's smart. Like,
yeah. Like, are you kidding? Do you put your kids on the ground with choppers pointing guns? Like, come on, man, that's insane.
That's why, and he doesn't even care about himself. He's more worried that his kids have to see this. He's good. He's like, I'm good, no harm done. But I'm like, damn, you kind of sneezed and he kind of blew his damn fucking back out. Pause.
It's time to get rich, bro. It's time to get rich.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, if you have a good functional family, whatever that means, like, you're like, as a man, like, your wife and your children should be, helping to make you feel fulfilled. Like, yeah, it's still a lot of work, but the fuck else are you gonna do? That's your job, man.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, what makes it worth it is like getting that love reciprocated from your family, whether it's like your wife, your kids, your parents, whatever. So hopefully, you've received that. It's by no means a given nowadays, because the culture is just like, bad men are bad or whatever, right?
Masculinity, masculinity is just toxic You guys are just pieces of shit. You know what I'm saying?
I think that gets
I don't know.
shouted from the rooftops a lot. I don't know if a lot of people really believe that.
No.
You know, if you came from like a good family with a good parents and everything, like you're not going to believe that. I don't care what fucking university you went to that tried to indoctrinate you. It's like
But
you
Stu,
lived
that's
it.
the
It's good.
that's the problem, right? Like, I mean, look at growing up. Like, how many people do you know that had, you know, everyone, their parents weren't divorced, like they just had a nice, happy family. Like, dude, I feel like it's more rare now
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
see like you know, a family that's together. Maybe the parents aren't divorced and they've been together since you were kids versus the other way around. So just by that logic, it's like it's already flawed because most people don't have that father mother structure to begin with, you know, throughout their entire childhood.
Yeah. It's the fall of Western civilization right there in a nutshell. But
Yeah. Hey, man. When I see somebody with both parents, I'm a little bit shocked. I'm like, damn, bro, you got both, bro. I'm like, oh shit. How old are you? You 35? You got both parents? Damn. Okay, I see you. It's like it's hard, bro. But shit be happening, and it's not even always divorce. Like a lot of people's parents aren't even alive, you know, or divorced or abandoned. Some people don't know their fucking parents. Like people, it's all type of shit going on. So for all of that to miss you and you to have two healthy, like decent human beings, they're not addicts. They're not some, you know. I'm like, okay, that's impressive, you know. But the thing is that sometimes we don't appreciate it, you know, until it's gone. You know, people I know,
dude, I totally took it for granted until I started to like meet people in the real world. You know, how lucky I was to have, like, not even like be wealthy, like come from a comfortable family, just to have like a good supportive family. You know,
Yeah.
it's hard to appreciate something you've always had, right? Because you don't know any different, you know. And shit, it's easy I mean, any one of us could complain if we wanted to, but we could also be grateful if we wanted to, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, in some ways, I'm like, my parents weren't very like loving, affectionate, you know, and my dad wasn't completely in my life, but I'm like, shit, I mean, that's better than not at all. I mean, you know, I don't know. And like, they're only working from the tools they have. Like, they don't know how to be affectionate, you know. My mom was raised by the village. How the fuck she knows how to be affectionate, you know? But what the fuck does she know about? So, you know, you can't be like, hey, you should have been more loving, motherfucker. Like, she don't know what the fuck that is.
Whenever Baby talks about the village, I automatically think of Tarzan. that was his childhood.
No, not me.
it's racist as fuck, dude.
I didn't come from the village. I didn't come from the village, but they did. I came from the Bronx village, but yeah. So in my head, I'm like, what the fuck tools you expect them to have, motherfucker? Like, you know, I'd be happy they made it to America and fucking got jobs and were able to put food in your mouth. If the way I look at it, I could still be in the village right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, running around lifting the rocks and shit like I be seeing on Instagram doing the.
Hey,
like,
you would have been a better bodybuilder.
from what I heard, from what I've heard, from what I heard though, Beatty, Ghana is called the Gold Coast, right? There's a lot of gold in Ghana, so if you were smart, you could get yourself a gold mine, make yourself
go back there. Yeah, I need to go back there, you know. But how do we even get to this topic? Talking about parents and shit.
Right, started off with caffeine addiction, and we
I think it just started
that led to being a dad.
Yeah, Beatty's having a rough start to the day.
Yeah.
Western society's fucked, you know. So
my baby stays up at night so late.
Yeah. You know what? I feel like I kind of had like a rough week, low key, but I don't even look at it that way. I just continue to just be sarcastic and act like a dick all day, you know.
What else are you gonna do, man?
Exactly.
It's a coping mechanism. I think that's what they call it in the professional field.
It is. Why do you think Stu's so funny?
You're not wrong. But fuck
I laugh through the pain.
Yeah, I mean, shit.
Look at
Same with Xavier. Xavier is hilarious, but Xavier going through a lot of shit. It's just
Xavier's
hey,
got it bad, bro. Oh my
yeah.
god. Fucking
You
Tasmanian bitches. Oh.
Tasmanian bitches.
all right, boys.
Yeah.
What the fuck do we talk about today?
Is he the
Uh,
first men's physique guy we had on the podcast?
Yeah, but Xavier was a bodybuilder
he
first.
did classic bodybuilding when it was division there. So
Yeah, so
I'll,
this
I'll,
is
He's such a
I'll- and
nice
I'll
guy.
consider him more. I'll consider him more like like Sid Faruqi. Like he creates content for bodybuilding. I think that's his
yeah.
he's a hardcore
bigger.
fan. Like he doesn't
Yeah.
really care about men's physique. So
Yeah,
respect.
his biggest contribution is his page, his YouTube to bodybuilding, because he's kind of, man, I always think about it like, if there was no Nick Strength and Power, Desktop Bodybuilding, even RX Muscle, like these guys were kind of the earlier guys that got into
Mhm.
talking about the sport. It's kind of like, dude, before Bison Try, bro, that was the only place you could get news.
Yeah, you're right.
You know?
You're right. You're right.
We're a fucking magazine. I mean,
Right.
months after the shows.
Right.
What I like about Desktop, and I would say Nick Strength and Power as well. I feel like Xavier is more well versed than Nick Strength and Power. I think Nick is a great host, but sometimes he misses some things that are obvious to us,
Well,
but maybe not as obvious to him because
So
I guess because he don't
Nick-
competed.
Nick is a serious fan. Like he understands the sport, but he also understands his audience is a bunch of normies.
Good
Right.
point,
So
good
like
point.
he's he's doing videos about like Chris Bumstead and fucking Phil Heath doing a comeback. I think he just did a video on that. Like, or like Larry Wheels. He's like talking about like super popular guys because he knows it hits the algorithm and people like to watch this shit. And when he's talking about like stuff that we know is kind of like silly, like, will Chris do the open? Like, no, of course not. He's kind of playing that game, but he does understand the sport. He's just
Yeah.
kind of like catering.
He
to that
competed.
audience.
Nick.
Oh,
I know people always say,
yeah.
"Oh, Nick didn't." He competed naturally, not in the NPC, but he competed in national organizations. So the guy has
I
been
know
through
that.
like a contest prep process. People always say that, but it's like the dude has done the job. It's just like Stu said, he's gone so big that he has to pretty much cater to everyone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And he's friends with Hani. He's friends with like Brian Powers, the guy who runs the Arnold. He knows a lot of people. Like he understands this shit for sure.
He's definitely one of my most watched bodybuilding. I don't think I really missed a video, but he also doesn't oversaturate the videos, so it's easy to keep up. So sometimes he says certain things that irks me a little bit, but it's not that deep. It's like I remember there was a picture of Urs with Samson, and Urs is standing in front of Samson, and he's like, "Look, the size difference is really not that much. Like classic, they're almost just as big as the open." And I'm like, the fact that you can't understand the angles and understand how much bigger Samson is, it irks me a little bit. But
he does.
Huh.
He's just like, this story will get
stirring
views and
it
shit.
up. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, well,
Yeah, I think so.
I was going to say the
Okay.
same thing. Yeah.
okay.
yeah,
okay.
I don't watch him. I haven't watched him in years. The only I watch, I don't know if you guys have watched his channel, Even Bodybuilding, IVAN.
Ivan.
Yeah, I watched
Ivan,
it.
yeah. He's I like his stuff just because he competes and he has no filter. Like he says exactly what he thinks, and even if it's wrong, he doesn't give a fuck. And I'm like, sometimes that's just what you need. Just give me the raw and filtered shit,
I want to see David make those kind of videos. Like
He does in Polish.
In
Oh, he
Polish.
does?
Yeah, like I don't know what the fuck he says, but
I want to see those kind of videos. But I was gonna say, yeah. So those kind of channels, I like that they're neutral and also positive. And when I say positive, it's like critique for the sake of critiquing, but they don't overdo it. And they don't get too into the negative shit. Sometimes I get annoyed when you have to cover everything within reason, but like bringing up like random shit about this person gets arrested here, and sometimes I'm like, I think you could just leave that out, or there's enough negativity for this sport as it is. I think we can keep it positive, and yeah, I feel like we can keep it positive and still cover the sport in its entirety. Or maybe maybe I'm just boring. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, I think it's kind of like this, right? We're over here talking about dads working their ass off outside of bodybuilding. It's just something to talk about. So it's just something to keep their channel putting shit out there, kind of thing. When there's nothing to really cover.
Good point. Yeah, I think
during the off season, I mean, fuck. I was talking to Xavier about this. He's like, back after the Olympia, we did some videos together, and he's like, I was like, oh, so you're gonna be chilling for a couple of months? He's like, yeah, pretty slow during the off season.
Yeah. But you got to keep them coming, right? The content can't stop.
He killed it during the Olympia time frame, though. All the videos leading up to it, like covering the show itself. His videos were getting crazy good views.
Yeah. When it comes to like Palumbo and RX, right? Sometimes I wonder if some of the things he says, if it's because of his age, maybe a little bit, maybe like out of touch with the current crop, or if he says it to purposely stir the pot. I can't fully tell.
Well, as a host, don't you like? Because sometimes you'll agree with us, right? Then other times you'll kind of just like play devil's advocate in your own way to keep the conversation interesting. So maybe it's the same concept.
I think
maybe
both. Yeah,
I think so. Like with the Bumstead thing, I think he honestly just didn't understand why Bumstead was so popular. Because I mean, it's hard to understand. I get it. It's like same with Sam Sulek. I think some of the older guys have a hard time understanding why is he so popular. We don't even know why he's so popular. You know, I think he
does, man.
He's just a kid working out. He don't give a fuck about that.
I think with Dave, there's a mix of nostalgia in there. If you notice, when it comes to guys from the 90s, he always puts priority. I think one of the wildest things I think he said was when Kevin was making a comeback, and he said Kevin could potentially win the whole thing.
Did he really say that? I don't understand that.
I'm like, bro, like, come on. You know, he definitely has some nostalgia from the 90s, and you know, based on what your belief in for bodybuilding is, like, you always kind of cater to that. But I think I don't even think Dave is that bad, to be honest. I think it's more of the people on his channel. Like, you know, every time something comes up, they complain about, oh, the bodybuilders today. And it's like, dude, did you even watch the show, man? Like the Arnold, they were complaining about the Arnold. And I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? This was one of the best Arnolds that's happened in the last 10 years. Like, what are you complaining about?
Yeah, I was talking to Sid when we were at the airport on the way out, and you know, just like the direction, the channel and stuff, and what they want to do with it. And you know, that after hours thing they do, where he's got like 8 or 9 guys all talking at once, and they're all loud New Yorkers, and they're all old as fuck, and you know, that's like his weekly hangout with his friends, you know, which is kind of what we do here, right? But like we're not from the last century, which helps. I used to find, you know, I like it when those guys tell stories from the 90s and stuff, the 2000s. That's cool, but like most of the time they're just shouting at each other and not intelligently, unfortunately.
There's always going to be nostalgia. Everybody does it to a point. You have to be aware. You have to be self-aware enough to pull back a little bit. I think somebody like Jay Cutler does a great job at pulling back from the nostalgia a bit and just being, I think for the most part, I think Dennis James does. He gets nostalgic sometimes, but for the most part, he checks people. Even like I mean, they were talking about something about Ronnie Coleman, Dorian Yates, and I remember he checked Chris. He was like, nah, he didn't have the best pose or whatever, because I think people like to just say anybody from my era will just beat everybody from your era. And that's bullshit. I'm sorry. That's listen, Kevin Livonia at his prime doesn't beat Phil Heath. And Kevin Livonia is a hell of a bodybuilder. Phil Heath is a better bodybuilder. He is. I mean, people don't want to say it or whatever the case is. It just is what it is. And it doesn't take away from you. It's a different time. If you were born in this era, maybe you'll be better than them. I don't know. But if you take their best physiques, it's not that kind of thing. So I think we have to put our emotions aside sometimes. Same thing with music. Oh, this music these days, I can't listen to it. And I'm being honest, I really can't listen to most of this music. it doesn't mean it's shit. It's just not my taste. So I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
bro,
say
we're getting old. That's
we are.
that's
Yeah,
what's
we are.
happening. Yeah.
I just had that conversation last night. That's funny as fuck.
Yeah.
I can't like any of this new shit. I'm
Yeah.
at that
Oh my
point.
god. But I go to Zoo Culture a lot, and they're like, "Yo, have you listened to the new Yeet?" I'm like, Yeet? What the fuck is a Yeet? They're like, play that Yeet, play that
Fuck is
Yeet,
a
bro.
yeet?
I'm like,
Uh,
I'm like, turn that shit off, motherfucker. What the fuck is he saying? I'm like, what are you talking about? Well, what are we listening to here? You know, so
Hey,
listen,
but have you
but
noticed though? Every time you like, for example, every time because we have the control at the Nation of the Radio,
yeah,
if I put something on or Paul or whoever when it's back in like our day or previous, like the older stuff, everybody loves it.
everybody loves it. Yeah,
But
yeah,
moving forward, the newer stuff, like what the fuck is this? Like
bro.
change it.
Sometimes I'll be there late when all you guys leave, and I don't know what the fuck be playing on that radio. I'm like, oh man, please turn it off. Please turn
It
this shit
used to
off,
be
bro.
worse, bro. It used to be worse.
and just to clarify, like, we're talking about other people's shows here, right? We're not hating. We're just like
No,
kind of
no.
observing and like, maybe critiquing a little bit, but like I honestly like all the stuff that's out there for the most part.
I mean,
We're
we all
talking
watch
about-
everything,
Yeah,
right?
We do, yeah. We watch
personally,
everything.
I don't
We all watch
much of
it.
this shit anymore. I just
Oh,
don't
okay.
care to like. We're doing 2-3 hour podcasts a week. Xavier pulls me in here. Everyone else happens to be on a podcast. I talk about bodybuilding so fucking much, man.
Yeah, you over
I
it.
don't want to listen to. Honestly, like, odds are, if there's a podcast out there, I was on it. Like, there's a pretty
Oh,
good
yeah.
chance. So,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I don't want to listen to myself
Stuart
talk.
Sarshev. Stuart Sarshev.
Yeah.
Stulos. This is fucking Stulos. And shit.
Stulos, yeah.
At this point, but I mean, that's a good thing. I mean, it's kind of a good thing that people want you on their shows because they know that you're gonna speak your mind. You're not gonna hold your tongue. Like, we have to force you to hold your tongue, which is great. Which is better than the other way
Getting better.
around.
I haven't said
You know?
anything so far, huh?
Yeah.
I even offered peace to make sure everybody knew we weren't talking shit about their channels. Like,
Good point. Good point. Yeah.
I'm killing it, dude.
Yeah, I mean, see, I don't even believe in talking shit about other people's channels. Like, critique is fine, but like, I don't believe in that because some people hate on each other. You know how it goes. Like people see a channel growing and they don't like it sometimes, and they go back and forth. But I personally watch everything. I don't watch every episode of everything, but I watch everybody's channel. And RX Muscle, that's the OGs, bro.
Yeah,
That's the, like,
you got to respect
like,
them. They're the first guys doing this, and they did a good job of it. I think they've kind of like shifted course a little bit. Like 5 years ago when I started watching them, like they were interviewing pros, going into the season, and interviewing older guys from the
Road to the
90s and
Arnold.
stuff. Yeah,
Road to
stuff
I
like
love
I
that.
remember that.
They don't do that much anymore, and I think
No,
from
you're right.
talking to Sid, like, he'd like to do that stuff again. I think
like that.
Dave makes a lot of creative decisions, but Dave's not like closed-minded. He's just kind of set in his ways with some things. So,
Mhm.
like, yeah, he's probably going to keep on doing the after hours thing with 9 guys shouting over each other. But just because you're doing that doesn't mean you can't do like this other shit.
Yeah.
So I hope they keep on, doing the contest coverage and stuff. And, I love seeing Sid out at the shows because he does such a good job of interviewing people and,
He's dope.
covering the show.
Yeah.
But a lot of these guys, Xavier hasn't left Australia in years because he can't really.
Mhm.
A lot Nick goes to the Arnold, but that's about it. Sometimes, Fuad and his guys are at shows, usually not, but they're like reviewing shows that they weren't at. And Sid's always like in the press section with a good view of everything. He can really comment on what was there. And that's valuable. It's very valuable.
You guys feel like just based on what you said, Phil. I was gonna say Phil, Stu. Based on what you said, you guys feel like, I don't know, bodybuilding, like, media in terms of like professional standard media, you feel like that's dying? Because I know Dave said that on his last show that they were the only ones at the Arnold that was actually covering it, that was actually press this last one. So you guys, because I don't really see anyone else, outside
MD's
of
gone. MD's gone.
Yeah.
They're not even
Yeah.
making YouTube videos anymore, are they?
Mm-mm.
No,
No.
Man, I
they're
know
gone. No employees.
Ron Harris, Giles Tiger, they used to put on, videos and stuff on their channel, and they wouldn't get a ton of views, but they were good videos.
Yeah.
And Ron was at every fucking show he could get to, I remember. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it kind of leaves RX Muscle, but it also leaves a vacuum
That's
for
what I was gonna
other
say.
people. The
Somebody
thing
to
is,
do
it's
it.
expensive to go to the shows, and there's got to be something else covering that expense, because just doing YouTube videos ain't gonna cover it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know what? If I go to any of these shows, I'm gonna just get people to talk to me. I'm gonna go right to the hotel room. Like, hey, come through. Let's have a conversation and film it. Fuck it.
Yeah, fucking Sid did that in New York. He just pulled me out of my hotel room. We did like a 10-minute interview in the hallway between
Yeah.
preaching and finals, And we like, if you know the competitors, that's easier to like grab them and be like, hey, you want to talk real quick? You got time?
Yeah.
5 minutes is all you need.
For years, people thought that these guys had no personality because it wouldn't come across on camera, but just because they're not comfortable being on camera. I know Stu knows. You talk to a lot of these guys in private, bro. They're the funniest, most
Yeah.
entertaining people ever.
They're a hoot.
It,
Yeah.
I mean, including us. I mean, I'm sure the first couple of times on camera, we didn't come across that well, but eventually you get warmer and warmer,
Yeah.
and you get better at it. Like some of these guys are hilarious, but you get them on camera and they kind of like they don't really talk much, But you got to get warmed up into it. So I think the more you talk to these people on camera, the better they get. And I think listen, everybody has a personality, how does it come across? You know what I'm saying? How many people actually have no personality? Not much. You just get a lot of people dieting, maybe on a lot of tests, tired. Then sometimes it just doesn't come across the best. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It would be cool to do like, I don't know, if the IFBB could like, get on board with some more official media, because now that MD's gone, there's like the NPC News Online page, which does some coverage, but I mean, they don't have like a person who's like a figurehead of their news network, right? They just
Mhm.
kind of like put out pictures, do some behind the scenes videos, but it's not really
I feel like that's
engaging.
Stu, honestly, I feel like that's coming because originally Tyler was only putting the judging commentary on Instagram, and if you notice, it's on the NPC News Online channel now.
Yeah.
Yes.
By the way, I thought that was a brilliant idea. The fact that they actually started doing that. If you
Yeah.
said this like 15 years ago, it's probably blasphemy to even ask for what the judges thought of a particular show. And I don't know if you guys saw the last one. We had the same argument with the Arnold. Tyler actually said that he chose Breon to be third at that show, but based on the judging and the group decisions, Urs came out third. So I thought that was also really cool that he's like, hey, this isn't just a unified front. I'm giving my opinion of what I thought should have happened. So I think it's coming. I feel like Tyler is kind of putting the good steps, like taking the right steps in terms of modernizing the organization. It's
Yeah,
just going to take
he's young, he's
Yeah.
Boom.
he's got to be the guy to like bring us into the 21st century. Because I mean,
Yeah.
Jim is 80 now, right? He just turned 79, 80.
Damn.
Yeah.
JM is the
Grown man.
photographer. He's not really running anything. He just does the pictures. And then Tyler is like, it's all gonna fall on him eventually.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that he's like taking steps, though.
Yeah,
That-
because
Yeah.
they started the newsletter too. I talked about that a couple of weeks ago. I was like, damn, I got an email from the IFBB. I'm like, really? Like, what's going on? I thought it
You're
was
like,
spam. And
am
like,
I in trouble? Oh shit.
yeah. And it was a newsletter. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, and it actually looks nice. It's not like something from like, it's actually professional looking. I was like, wow, they're really taking steps. So I think it's coming, I think
Should start
Tyler's
reading
taking
those.
the right steps,
Yeah.
and it's like a summary of like the week of what happened in the league, what shows are coming up 4 weeks out, 10 weeks out. I don't know if you guys get those emails, but I thought that was really cool.
I do. I haven't read them, but I
Yeah,
get them.
that was really cool.
I've been getting it. I've been getting it, but I'm not a pro. How did that? They send it to amateurs
It's
as well.
just, I
Yeah,
think
everyone.
it's
Okay.
As long as you've competed, because you put your email when you
Damn.
compete.
Yeah.
So as long as you've competed, it's a free newsletter, that they're sending out to everyone.
That's a shit ton of newsletters for everybody who's competed before. Damn.
Hey,
They
that's
send out a lot.
Yes,
think about it,
exposure.
right? Think about it from a marketing perspective. It's
Oh,
like,
you're
hey, we're
right.
putting out this newsletter. Like we have X, Y, and Z. I don't know, 200,000 people on our mail list. So,
Yeah.
if you want to advertise here, maybe it's a good opportunity, so
Mhm.
there's plenty of avenues to go with it, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah. I thought it was good foresight for Jim to put Tyler in charge because of the age. At first, I think a lot of people are a little iffy, like, whoa, he's kind of young. But now I think most people are like, whoa, that's actually what we needed. We don't need like another 70-year-old to be in charge, right? Because we're in 2024. So we actually do need somebody who understands how social media works, who understands that you have to be transparent these days. You have to, because that's the only way it works. That's how to get people on your side, and not people being like, "Hey, why are you hiding this?" So, because if literally like half the people had Bjorn winning, so then it's like, huh, right? But when he puts that out, you're like, whoa, okay, even he had Bjorn winning. Okay, we're not crazy here. So it makes you respect the decision even more. Like, okay, that's fair then, because it's like, okay, you have different opinions, and me and Ken went back and forth, but I do understand Ken's argument, and Ken understands my argument, right? Because it's not like just because we think this person should have won doesn't mean there's no chance in hell that this person could ever beat them, right? You can just have a difference of opinion, but both arguments make sense. You know what I'm saying? So then it makes you like, okay, it makes everybody respect the decision more. Like, okay, fair, that's all good.
And different things that are not into. I mean, no one reads the rule book, right? I don't think I've ever even seen the rule book, but I didn't even know that classic, the judging isn't like bodybuilding where it's a compound of your prejudging and finals. It's just one score. So he explained that too, and I'm like, huh, that kind of makes sense. So even if in classic, even if your prejudging look and your finals look, it's just one freaking score compared to bodybuilding where, if you like we made that Antoine reference, I think I watched the last episode, where if you stay the same, it could affect you, right? Like classic, it's literally just one. There's no prejudging, there's no finals, it's just one score. And I still don't know how they provide that one score, but it also, as a competitor, that's something that maybe it's better for you to look the same in prejudging and finals versus, Mr. Saturday night, kind of how you kind of do it in bodybuilding if it's a 2-day show. So there's little intricacies like that I thought was pretty interesting. Strategy.
So if you do classic, you might as well, after that Friday, just go have fucking the buffet. I'll go have a fucking buffet and come back, looking like I did in 22. Fucking gut all out, oiled up, fucked up.
Well, what happened in 22 in the light heavyweight, I think they actually rejudged that class.
They did.
Because that's exactly what you remember, the Cuban guy, the pervert with the pink trunks.
Oh, we do remember
that
him.
guy? Yeah.
I was there, bro. I was third place.
Yeah. So like they rejudged that class, didn't they?
They did.
He was winning. He was winning for sure.
And then, comes, Saturday night, they rejudge it, and Brandon Laird wins.
Yeah.
Why was he a pervert? What does he do?
Oh, that's a whole other story. Go watch Goose channel. But anyways, like, so I heard from a buddy of mine worked at the Dragon's Lair at the time. And so between prejudging at finals at the USA's, like he came into the gym on Saturday morning and he was just like freaking out. He's like, bro, I can't stop eating. I can't stop eating. He was just binging his ass off. And yeah, and so like he was binging, he couldn't stop eating, and he was like, I gotta burn off this food. It's like doing cardio, working out and shit. So yeah, and then he comes back, and obviously you can't unfuck that situation, once you've done that. And he looked pretty bad at the finals. And
his stomach wasn't that good to begin with, so you can't take that risk.
Yeah, but he did at preaching, like he was more muscular, I think, denser, definitely. But Yeah, I mean, guy is obviously a head case. I don't even feel bad saying anything poor about him because he's a fucking creep. So
Maybe somebody sent the judges one of his OnlyFans videos or something.
I saved
yeah.
his ass that day. He showed up like 6 hours before the stage time, hanging out, thinking that he's gonna be first in line. I told him, bro, go home or go rest. It's like until for another 6, 7 hours. He didn't have the schedule, so he's one of those dudes who showed up really, really early, thinking if I'm early, I can be a little better. But he didn't realize how many competitors there was in front of him. You know,
You should have left his ass in right there.
I should have.
But all right. What's the
He beat me that night, so that was kind of a mind fuck.
yeah.
Yeah.
He was definitely big, muscular, dense, not a super pretty physique, but he was definitely big and
Just a terrible person though. Just terrible.
He
All
turned for
right.
the
Someone like whenever
North
someone
American.
tells you like, when someone starts to tell you something, oh, never mind. That's how I feel about this situation because I don't know why the pervert, and I'm like, fuck you guys.
Well, there's several reasons why, but Fit Nation podcast, we talk positive shit, positivity,
Positive podcast.
Yeah.
but yeah, just go. It's probably pinned on Goop's
I'm gonna
channel.
watch. I have to look at it now.
Let's watch it right now. Let's put it. No, stop.
No.
My curiosity is, my mind is fucking racing. I'm like, damn it, I want to know why.
All right. So I wanted to bring this up. Let me see. Share screen. A very hard transition, but your girl Sarah Villegas, the people's champ over here. Yeah, so you made some comments about Arnold and the way he's doing stuff. And let me go ahead and read it to you, gentlemen. You guys seen this before? You guys seen these
Yeah,
comments?
I was gonna bring it up earlier too.
Okay, well, let's cover it. So Sarah Villegas, your physique Olympia champ, reigning and defending. Based on Arnold's increase in prize money, this is what Sarah had to say. You don't earn your stripes by just throwing in the extra dollars for men's open. You start with inclusion. That's a key word there, inclusion. Start with using your platform to support every IFBB category at Schwarzenegger. It's never too late to do the right thing. Okay, so this is Sarah Villegas. She competes in the physique category, which is no longer part of the Arnold Sports Festival. Let's start with Stuart Sutherland. Stu, what are your thoughts on Sarah Villegas' comments here towards Arnold?
Well, you can come at it two ways. Like, you can look at this whole thing as a business and say, you're not bringing any extra eyes to the scene to your show by including women's bodybuilding and women's physique. Unfortunately, that's true. These are very, very niche divisions in an already niche sport. But at the same time, like, I know women's physique competitors, and they work their asses off to compete in these divisions. I know women's bodybuilders, and they bust their asses, and harder than a lot of guys, and they don't get recognition. Fortunately, they do have a couple of shows like the Wings of Strength, Rising Phoenix show in Phoenix, Arizona. That's a very well run competition. They have big prizes there as well. There's no men in that division or in that show. So
take this word inclusion. Is the Rising Phoenix very inclusive? Would you say?
I mean,
not really.
In that respect, no. But
not really. Okay,
in the grand scheme of things, I mean, they have fuck all opportunities to qualify for the Olympia throughout the year. It's really sparse, and I mean, it's kind of like any other men's versus women's sports. It's like the women's sport is not bringing a lot of money in, and generally the men's division will bankroll the women's division, just like the WNBA, with the NBA.
Mhm.
I think Schwarzenegger, if he's throwing around money like this, he has the money to put up, the prize pool if he cared to, but he doesn't really have any obligation. I wish they
Mhm.
would have it just because I'm a fan of this division. I think
Mhm.
that this should have the opportunity to compete. And it would be super cool to see. Like this is one of the hardcore divisions. I like the hardcore side of the sport. I could give a shit
Yeah.
about wellness and bikini and men's physique. I
What
don't
you mean?
care. But this is bodybuilding. You're right. This is my alley.
Before we continue though, we have to point out when some of the things are just incorrect, right? Just like factually, right? Because just throwing in the extra dollars for men's open is not correct because he did also say that he's going to raise the prize money in all the other divisions that he has as well. So that's not factually correct. So that's one thing I wanted to point out. And then what was the other thing? The inclusion thing isn't factually correct because there's 3 women's, 3 men's. Now, whether or not we like the men's divisions or women's divisions, or we think it should swap out, that's just opinion. But if you're gonna use the word inclusion, there has to be some facts to back it up. And if it's 3 and 3, or if you add in wheelchair, they have wheelchair men's and women's, believe it or not, right? So that's 4 and 4. So those 2 comments are just not, it's just incorrect. And then so you don't want to make incorrect statements if you're gonna come at somebody. That's 2 things I'm gonna point out. As far as earning your stripes, I don't think anybody has earned their stripes more than Arnold because none of us probably would be here if it wasn't for Arnold because before Arnold, the sport just really wasn't doing much of anything. So I don't think Arnold needs to earn his stripes at all, personally, but that's just a personal opinion. So
I'm
before
gonna
I,
I'm gonna come at this from a different angle.
Mhm.
So I know a lot of people have been talking about the wings of strength, but you got to look at the history first, right? Like, why was that show even created to begin with?
Mhm.
They created that show because women's bodybuilding was literally extinct. Like, there was literally no competition for women's bodybuilders to even compete in. And that
Yeah.
became the de facto Olympia for women's bodybuilding. And that's how Jake Wood kind of came into the industry. So, when people kind of put out, okay, like there's no men's in Wings of Strength. That show literally it's literally still there to ensure that they still exist in case something like this still happens in the future, right?
There's
But
lots of shows that are men's only too. Should
yeah,
mention that as
yeah,
well.
Yeah, I was
yeah,
gonna say that
yeah,
too.
and so it's not at you. I'm looking at, like, there were a lot of comments on this, like with people just talking about the Wings of Strength, like why is it only men's?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
And another thing, like just like you, my favorite division is the women's physique division out of all the female divisions. That's actually my favorite category.
Mhm.
I think
Same.
that with the Arnold, and we talked about this on the last one I was on, the Arnold is a really fun show to watch because they have a select few categories where it's actually palatable to watch the entire thing, right? The only thing that I would suggest, and Arnold could do whatever the hell he wants. It's his show at the end of the day. So, everyone's gonna come in here and say, oh, we should have this division, we should have this division. It's his fucking show. If he wants a division, he can put the division in there. I don't think there's any rules that say that he has to have every single class. And personally,
Nobody else does.
yeah, and
No
personally,
other show had everything.
I don't want every class. I'll be honest. I don't want every class in that show because I like to watch it. And the Olympia is a freaking drag to watch sometimes.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I'll say this. I do think that there should be at least one women's muscular division. What I mean is, maybe it could either be WPD or it could be women's bodybuilding. And you can take out the bikini or the wellness. You take your pick because I just feel like they're both the same. I'll be honest. I feel like they're both the
Mhm.
same class. One is just a little bit more muscular. And
Mhm.
let's be honest, wellness is there because it attracts the eyeballs. It's the most popular division in women's as of right now.
You the Brazilian
But
fans, bro.
hey man, I'm just speaking my opinion. I'm sorry, Brazil. I love you guys, but
Yeah.
you know, I
Yeah.
just Because I mean, let's be honest, like when you guys are watching that show, like who's really watching bikini? Like outside of
Me,
the people that
I'm
who's
watching.
watching bikini?
Me,
You?
Shut
yeah,
the
I'm
fuck
watching.
up, baby.
No, like
It's like
the last point you made is actually the most important point because everything else we're talking about is opinion, right? But
yeah,
the truth is, opinion is irrelevant.
yeah,
Opinion is just an opinion. What is relevant is Arnold is a promoter. This is a business.
yeah.
End of the day, it's hard for athletes to think like businessmen because most athletes don't have a business point of view, right? You know, I'm not a businessman per se, but I do have that way of thinking. So I understand business is just business. It's irrelevant what Arnold or any of us like personally, right? Now, Jake Wood bankrolls the Phoenix show just because he wants to. That's dope, and that's very commendable. And I wish everybody was as rich as Jake Wood and can just do whatever the fuck they want, right? Arnold can, but that's not my point. My point is that women's bodybuilding and women's physique just do not sell. You know, it's just not as marketable and won't bring the same eyeballs as bikini and wellness. So it doesn't. It is not even about we prefer. I personally prefer muscle as well. I'm a bodybuilder. I would prefer 212 over men's physique.
Yeah.
I would
Okay.
prefer, I would prefer a woman's physique. I want to see all that shit, bodybuilding. But at the end of the day, it is business. So it's easy for all us athletes to say these things when it's not our money. You know what I'm saying? If you can sit here and say, yeah, put everything, put all the motherfuckers, give out 100 grand to women's physique and 200 grand to women's bodybuilding. But the truth is that it's all easy to say until you're the one throwing the show and you start looking at the numbers and you start actually knowing what's going on, that it is a business. Nobody's going into when y'all go to work, y'all not going to work to lose money. I know I'm not. So why does everybody else have to be so righteous and throw away all their money to please us when we're not doing that? You know, Sarah, from what I've heard, Sarah and her husband are very well off. They're flying private jets and buying all these fancy bags and shit. So they got
She
money.
I
does
heard
she
she
does she
bought
does
a
fund
six
shows.
million gym. Did you hear that?
Oh, but
When
you
Yeah,
she
see what I'm
but
bought the
saying?
in
house.
her defense, she funds shows. I know she did she put out like 30 grand last year for
Great.
a women's physique division show, which is
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
with the Arnold as well, um, Arnold is beyond bodybuilding. He's a little bit more mainstream. And I think that also plays a little bit of a part in this. Like if you notice a lot of the divisions of the Arnold, bodybuilding is where Arnold came from. So it is a part of the show, but everything else is the most popular divisions. Let's be honest. Classic is the new hot thing. Like I can see a point where there's probably some meeting room at the Arnold, organization, whoever's running this thing, and they're like, oh, you know what? At some point, we want to put this shit on TV. And what are the best classes that can make this shit look good if we were to go that route? And I mean, come on, bikini, as much as I don't like it, if you're talking to the general normie public, that is probably what they want to see the most, from a women's category. So I think it's a popularity thing as well as like
Of
what
course.
can be what can be more approachable from just a regular person that wants to actually get included to watch this kind of show. And I think
It,
that's
it,
just how they just make their decisions.
I think
it's
keep in mind though that this is such a huge production, probably
Mhm.
tens of millions of dollars sloshing around between all the different shit that's going on in there. It's like 10 grand, 50, or 15 grand or something for the smallest booth in that expo. So like it's there's a ton of money here. I don't agree with the argument that they don't have the money to throw at these divisions,
nobody said
but
they didn't have the money.
yeah, I think
You
they
don't
have the
want to lose
money.
money.
It's just I don't think they'd be losing money if even if they put
No.
like 50 G's towards the prize pool, even 100 between like all the women's physique division, right? But still, if Arnold just doesn't want it, and he's kind of an old school guy. He's almost 80 now, I think. Like if he just don't want it, then it's not going to happen, and that's his prerogative. I don't agree with all these comments in here saying, well, just kind of like hating on the division, like, no, you don't bring eyeballs, stupid women, shut up. Like that's just nasty.
Yeah.
That's not cool. These people are all way better athletes than all the shitheads in the comments here. But I mean, I wish they would do it. Honestly, I really wish that they would include it in here. It would add a little bit of time to the show, but with a cool division. So
So that's the exact problem. The problem too with this, right? Just like what Beatty said, it's like 3-3. There's three men's divisions, there's three women's divisions, so it's equal. Somewhere, they probably made a decision that, we want to be able to cut this show to X amount of hours for watch time.
yeah,
And this is my as a fan and someone just watching as a spectator, I want that watch time to remain where it is because it makes
yeah,
like the Olympia. Everyone watches the Olympia, and dude, it's a chore to watch that show, bro. By the time the men come out, it's on the East Coast here. It's like 11:30, 12. You're already asleep. It's like the Arnold
Mhm.
is such an easy, digestible show to watch.
yeah.
And the problem is if you take a division out, you put another one in, then it's like, well, you left my division out. Why are you doing this? So at this point, like you said, it's whatever Arnold wants for the show. I mean, it sucks. Me personally, I would like to have everyone in there, but we can't all have everything we want.
That's
It just
boy.
doesn't work out that way. It
Simple
doesn't
as
work
that.
that
I feel like we contradict ourselves a lot because we
way. Yeah,
complain at the Olympia having all these divisions and oh
right.
well, why do the open going on midnight and this and that? Oh, why we can't have more money? What? But then when some of these things happen and you have Arnold actually raise the prize money and gives us like a palatable show, we still complain. We need
Yeah.
more money, but then when you start having 45 sponsored shows, a lot of people don't like it. But it's like, where else would the money come from? We contradict ourselves so much, like because we want everything, but we're not looking at it. We're not the ones putting the money out. We're not the ones having to get the sponsors. We're not the one trying to put together a show that actually works. So it's easy to just be like, have every single division pay them all $1 million and don't have anybody come on midnight and make it a 5-day show and make it a 3-day. It's so easy to throw out all these demands when it's not us running the show. At the end of the day.
I think
Now,
we're nostalgic for 20 years ago when it was just like what, three divisions or something,
exactly,
you know?
exactly. If we're talking about what we want, I think everybody could agree in a perfect world. I want to see everything. I want to see every single athlete on the Arnold stage in every division. I want to see everybody get $1 million fucking dollars. I want to see the show end at 10 p.m. I want it to be this perfect fucking show, the perfect live stream, black curtains. But the world don't work that way, bro. We can't just have everything we want. So we can't just complain when everything happens. When bad shit happens, we complain. When fucking motherfuckers start making 500 grand, we still complain. So we're just gonna complain until there's nothing left to complain about. So it's like
I think you hit it on the head, dude. We just like to complain.
we're just gonna complain. So okay, they
Everybody has an opinion.
now they throw in women's bodybuilding, women's physique, and then they get rid of men's physique, and then now we're gonna find something else to complain about. Oh, now the show is too long. Well, why do the men only have 4 divisions? Why do what? There's gonna be something to complain about. So instead of complaining, I'm just gonna say I'm really happy what Arnold does. He puts on a great show. He puts on a better show than Olympia, and I respect him for giving 500 grand to the open, which is always going to be the main attraction. This is what started it all. Everybody works hard. That's great, but it's not a work hard contest. It's about the business still. So I'm
Also,
sorry.
something people don't even consider is just the longevity of the division. When you look at some of these other divisions, like women's bodybuilding, you look at it from an amateur show perspective. You
Ooh,
get like one or two people.
yeah.
Sometimes there's no one even in the class. Even on the national level, you get like five people. I mean, think about the longevity of the actual divisions, like in the next 5, 6 years when there's a changing of the guard. So it, it's to me, it's just kind of like the writing based on statistics. The writing is kind of on the wall for some of these other divisions, like because figure is so close to bikini. A lot of people would choose bikini or wellness over that division, right? And because physique, women's physique is so close to bodybuilding, a lot of women don't want to get that big anyway, so they would choose women's physique over women's bodybuilding. So, I mean, I'm sure somewhere the organization is looking at these statistics for the amount of numbers you're seeing per year. If you're having a women's bodybuilding class on an amateur level, and for the entire year of every single national show that happened, you only had 30 competitors. I mean, what does that really say about the class?
Yeah.
In terms of how much money you want to actually put into that into the future. So that's also another problem that a lot of people don't bring up when these kind of things actually happen.
Yeah. These people we critique, they're the ones who have to make the hard choices. They're the ones who actually have to sit and think about all the alternative things they can do and what can actually work, right? These are the people who actually have to use their brains and not their mouths. And as us, we can sit here and use our mouths all day and complain, but they're the ones who have to deal with the numbers, right?
That's our job.
Supposed
to talk shit.
It's like same way I'll see so many people working 9 to 5 and talk about how I want my own business and all of this, and I'm like, bro, you can't even manage a 9 to 5. You can't have your own business. You can't even handle a job that you're just doing one task, but you think you're going to be able to do a million different tasks and run a business. That could never happen. So it's like there's so much that you don't know, that you don't even think of, that you would only know if you were the one running the show. So like I said, I'm just gonna give props, and I wish they had bodybuilding and women's physique. I wish they had 212, because it's fucking dope. It's dope, and they work really hard, and it's great divisions. And I will agree with Sue. I don't like some of the comments that like it's like, oh, shut up, women. You're like, okay, like, no, you shut up. So
yeah, you can dunk on them if you want to, but is that classy? I mean, these girls bust their ass, man. They just want an opportunity to compete.
And they're putting their necks out there too. They're putting their necks out there saying this stuff. Yeah. So people have to consider too, like these are some champions would rather just keep quiet. The champions of their divisions. I don't have to say anything, but these women are putting their necks out there and saying this stuff. So there's a lot of courage. It's I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. I think it would honestly take other competitors like high level, like Derek Lunsford coming out and saying, yeah, we need more women's physique shows for it to happen. I don't know if he is a fan of the division or anything, or if you do that or want that, but
you got to be careful though.
You're right. It just right now, it just sounds like Sarah's complaining, like, I want another show. Exactly. She's not, but that's how it kind of comes off, right? But if there's a chorus of other people at a high level in the sport saying, yeah, you guys need to do this opportunity, give them this opportunity, then maybe that affects something. Because this isn't the first time they've talked about this before. Yeah.
And we're just mentioning Sarah. Iris Kyle mentioned it too, and she got flamed as well. She got flamed so hard, and it's like, man, she has a legacy. She won, like, I don't know, 10 women's bodybuilding Olympiads or some shit. Like, there's a legacy.
Arguably the greatest bodybuilder of all time, based
all
off of that statistic.
Of all time, literally.
Is it even arguable? I don't know if it's arguable if she got 10.
No, I mean, she was literally like the Ronnie Coleman of that division during the same era.
Bro, she beats open guys.
Yeah, she does.
She whipped my ass. Jesus Christ, man.
If we talking about Sarah could too. Like that, the year, it's funny. There was a year Sarah came in off. She came off. She posted a picture of her glutes. I'm like, her off was more shredded than a lot of these guys in the open. I'm like, her glutes were shredded from her lower back all the way down to her calves. And I'm like, damn. And we're sitting there talking about she's off.
Well, actually, that year that she was off, they actually told her like to come in a little softer.
Oh,
and she was like pissed afterwards. She's like, fine, fuck it. I'm going to get super peeled. And that's what she done ever since.
Yeah. So we like to cover all bases. So all of that being said, at the same time, we would love for the women to get all the opportunities in the world. If if it's doable, is it doable? Well, Jake Wood is showing that it is doable, but Jake, it's more of a passion project, and I don't know how many people you're gonna get to do a passion project. Besides Sarah herself, she's doing really well for herself. I'm sure at some point when she retires, she's probably gonna be bankrolling a lot into the division. Which
Hope
which
so.
which would be sometimes I feel like we have to do it for ourselves. Sometimes, because a lot of times we're like, hey, these people, y'all need to do better. But sometimes we just have to. Sometimes we just got to take matters into our own hands. Sometimes,
And she's not even
Yeah.
asking for like a big ass prize pool at the Arnold. She's just asking for the class at the Arnold, right?
Yeah.
So, and just more shows, because I think there's like 8 or 9 women's bodybuilding shows all fucking year.
Yeah.
There's nothing, I always reference her, Melissa Tyke. She just moved from women's physique to women's bodybuilding, and she's like, there's just no shows, but she's super good. She deserves a chance to qualify. She's been to the Olympian multiple times in the women's physique division, but she just can't. There's like no opportunities.
Yeah. That's I don't know. I feel that they definitely listen. I think most of us would agree that the bigger divisions probably should deserve most of the prize money. Because that's what started it. It was men's bodybuilding, women's bodybuilding. You know what I'm saying? But
That's
I don't
the
know.
case. But like, if even
Different word.
first place, like $5,000 for women's
Something.
physique,
What do
can bring it down from there. You're putting like 10 or 11 G's into a.
let me ask
Go ahead.
Mhm.
let me ask you guys, what do you guys think could be a solution to make these divisions more popular so that they do get that feed from the amateur ranks into those divisions, which could further, of course, make them more popular and to be in these shows? What do you guys think that solution could possibly be?
I don't really think it's up to us. Besides like a Dana, somebody who could really maybe like a figurehead,
An
but it's
influencer, like literally,
Yeah.
like if you make it cool for young
I was
women
gonna say,
to be big and strong and sexy, right? And still feminine and beautiful and everything, because that's what the downside to it, right? You have to take drugs to be that size. It's
yeah,
and if you see a bunch of women's physique competitors that have just look like beat to shit, that really does put people off.
I think,
I'm not,
and
I don't
that's,
mean that to be rude, but like that's the effect that it has.
you're
right?
just saying, see, you're just saying the truth. I mean, that's
So I was
the
gonna say,
truth.
it's not
I
appealing to the grand
Yeah.
audience. It's not going to be popular. Like most women don't want that look. Mostly, all
Yeah.
guys
I
want
would
to
say
be jacked some sort of way, but girls don't. Very
I
far
think
and
it's
few
I
want.
think it's yeah, it's a criteria, bro. I think it's a criteria because women's physique, that conditioning is, dude, it's the hardest conditioning out of every single class. They're fucking sliced out of their minds. And the women's bodybuilding, like you guys said, people don't want to be that big. Because when you think about it, we don't actually have a women's class that actually look muscular, like just lean and muscular, but not over the top. Everything else is, the bikini division, it doesn't even look like it's for muscle, right? The bikini and wellness, let's take that aside. WPD, it's very extreme with the conditioning. With women's bodybuilding, it's the mass.
I think
I would like,
figures kind of in the middle. They don't want them peeled in that division,
they
and I
don't.
think there is a pipeline of figure athletes going into women's physique because they continue to train, they continue to grow, and then boom, they're too big. So
and Stu, a good point with that would be, I would like to see a revamp of the figure division. Like, take away the heels, make it not too conditioned, the mass not too much. I'm telling you, I really think that would be something that would bring out, because there's some women that want to train and be strong, but they just don't want to, walk around in the heels and, point your ass out on stage. Some women aren't interested in that kind of stuff. So if you make it more,
I think the figure division's super cool. Like
yeah,
it's an attainable and not over the top level of muscle mass and conditioning for a woman. But it's boring. I mean, it's like 4 poses,
Exactly.
4 quarter turns, and a diva pose, and you leave. Let him hit some fucking poses, man. They
Take away the
got
heels.
arms and delts and like
Nah. Keep them heels on, baby.
No,
I-
heels, man.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help it.
But at some point, like if you start adding in more poses, is it really the same division? Yeah, you'd have to change things. But like, I think that is, if you get more girls like interested in that division, then there more will compete, and then more will grow and get into the women's physique division. And you got to make it cool, and well, more than cool, sexy. Like, because that's what girls want to feel like.
And it can be, because listen, DLB was one of the biggest female stars in this industry a couple years ago, so it can be cool and sexy. It's just the criteria is just not going in the right way.
Super fan.
Okay. So you changed it. No, because I was gonna say you can't do that because it was a different time. But you said if you change the criteria,
the criteria has to change to fit something a little bit less extreme, and you will find that you're actually going to get people that are going to pipe into that division.
Oh yeah,
that's what I think.
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, when you first asked the question, I thought you meant exactly how it is. I don't see any way that bodybuilding and physique in the women's divisions are ever going to be more popular than bikini and wellness, just because the same reason why they bankroll all this money to the WNBA, but it never takes off the way they want it to, the way volleyball would or tennis would, because it's feminine, right? And guys like femininity, girls like femininity. So it's always, tennis is always going to be a lot more popular for women than the WNBA would. The same reason why bikini and wellness is always going to outdo this current criteria in bodybuilding, physique, and even figure. Now, if the criteria start changing, if women's physique become more like Juliana and DLB, then now it's a whole different conversation. Am I the only one who likes bikini and wellness?
Yeah, you pervert.
Wellness is more draws my attention because of the muscularity of the legs.
Yeah, is it? Wellness is kind of impressive, but it's like, I'm sorry, it doesn't belong on the same stage. This is a muscle contest.
That's my problem too with wellness. It's like, no disrespect to anyone who's doing it legitimately, but let's be real. There's a lot of cosmetic surgery going on in that division.
Whoa, hold on. Have you guys ever seen these wellness girls in person? Have you guys actually seen wellness girls in person?
They're pretty big.
It's impressive to me. If
they got muscle, what are you talking about?
I'm going to choose wellness.
Beatty, I'll tell you right now, 70% of those asses aren't real. I hate to break your dream.
Yeah,
we can say the same for arms. What are you talking about?
Hey, fuck you.
Arms
are real, motherfucker. My arms are real, dude.
Yeah,
we can't just be hard. We can't just be hard on the woman, but the man doing it too. Nah, stop. Listen, if it looks good, it looks good. I don't care what's in there. That shit looks good. So we're not gonna say, oh, the men can shoot up their arms to the tilt, then shoulders are all scarred up, but the woman, God forbid, a woman shoots her ass. Nah, if it looks good, it looks good. Hey, I
think surgery is the line.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Name somebody doing surgery. They're not placing. The ones doing surgery, they don't place. The winners.
I'm going to ask you a direct question now. You're really going to tell me the top 5 wellness athletes in the world? You look at those physiques, and you're telling me that there's no cosmetic surgery done to that body for the top 5 wellness physiques? Yes or no? Yes or no?
She has.
Hold on. Besides boob job, no, there's zero cosmetic surgery.
No. Besides boob job, yeah, just ass augmentation.
Zero cosmetic surgery. I'm telling you this from actual experience.
You've lost your credibility here. You've lost your credibility, man.
Listen, zero. Those top 5, there's no surgery going on. I'm telling you this from personal experience with wellness athletes and their coaches. The ones that get cosmetic, the ones that get cosmetic surgery, those don't place. It is
you
very
can literally
evident.
See it when they're walking. Like, muscle doesn't move that way, bro. You can literally see it.
I did not
Some
say.
Andrews
I asked
was
you a
like
direct
that.
question, and that's your
Listen,
belief. I can't change your opinion.
hold on. I did not say it was real muscle. I said it's not cosmetic surgery. Same
Okay.
reason Heidi's biceps is not cosmetic surgery, but
Okay,
there's
you're saying
something
it's
in
not
there.
plastic.
Yeah, so no, so
I love that the two black
we're gonna
guys are arguing about giant asses on our
That's his-
podcast.
I
No,
knew
no.
took the words right out of my mouth. The one thing
Listen,
that triggered
bro.
Beatty, once you start talking shit about ass, that's
Nah,
when
we're not.
Yeah,
got
they
two experts
got
here.
serious. You got so serious, bro.
No, because we're not because this is something I keep hearing about wellness. I'm like, yo, we gotta stop acting like just because it's not muscle tissue, it don't look good. That happens in every division. Men's physique guys got shit on the shoulders. Physique women got shit in their shoulders. Men got shit in their arms.
So let me ask you,
we're not
you're
going to
saying
disrespect wellness.
you're saying it's side injections versus cosmetic surgery. That's what you're saying. If
Absolutely.
it's side injections,
Absolutely.
cool. But I think it's cosmetic surgery. I don't have any proof. Just
You
from
can
the
think
way
that,
it looks.
but
Yeah,
but it's not
I
true.
don't have any.
You know?
I don't have any proof. But
Yeah.
that's why personally, I don't know, man. It's
You
yeah.
can't. The first place winner, I forgot her name, Francesca, I think. She during peak week, she's posting a lot of videos. Her training, you can see a lot of fibers.
Yeah.
I follow that division,
Striations,
and
all
she
that.
actually has a lot of fibers in her glutes. Like you can see them. But maybe some other ones, like Sunny Andrews, she got on Nick Trigili's channel one time. I've seen her.
That's why she's not placing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she
You
I
know?
think
he
I
said
think
that
she
she
did an
had something
extreme.
going on. Yeah,
I think to
but
I
not
think she
all
did
of
an
them, though.
extreme job. I think she did an extreme
I think
job.
to summarize all of this, just like with synthol, if you can tell, you fucked it up.
Simple
Yeah.
as that.
I think it's possible that they could do something subtle beneath the muscle, some sort of
Hydrolysic acid, something like that.
something like that. Yeah. No, I'm talking about like an actual implant, something really
Yeah.
subtle and done properly. And just like every surgery, like if you can tell there was a surgery, they did a bad job. I don't know anything about surgery, how you'd fucking do that, but I think it's possible.
I
But
think it's
again,
possible.
you know,
I'm not
when you
buying
can
it.
tell, you know, if you can tell, then no, they don't place. You know, Sunny Andrews did
Yeah.
fall off after she won the whole division.
You telling me that all of a sudden the wellness division came out, all of a sudden everyone just started growing asses out of
No,
nowhere.
they all came
All of
out
a
of
sudden.
Brazil, bro. Like literally like 80-90% of the division is Brazilian. That's
Yeah.
they didn't have a stage before. Actually, I was at a seminar yesterday. What's her name? Tanji Johnson, promoter up here in the Northwest. She's doing a wellness show up here, and she's trying to like recruit athletes at the Olympia to come to her show. And like she's having to learn fucking Portuguese because all of these girls are Brazilian. They're all coming out of the woodwork from down there, and maybe they were getting
you're
shit
telling
done.
me so Sid, sorry, Stu, that's my next question again. You telling me Brazil's the only place that you can grow ass? That's what you're telling me.
Something in the water. Yeah, well, that's like a cultural thing.
I'm not
there,
buying
you know?
it. I'm
They
not
literally,
buying it.
like, I mean, even before that division was around, they're training their legs and glutes like 3-4 times a week. That's just what they
Yeah.
do. It's a weird culture, but that's cool.
y'all never seen big asses like without surgery? Like
I've
same way people have big arms genetically, people have big asses and big legs genetically as well.
Body,
Yeah.
I think we've all seen a lot of big asses, and you kind of know how it inserts on the
Yeah,
body.
there's a certain way
I'll
it
leave it at
should
that.
move,
Yeah,
But
especially
not
when
all
the
of them,
body
bro.
tilts the
Not
hips,
all of them.
the
No,
inserts
Outside
just
of
look a little
ass, I
funky.
think they have really nice legs. Like they're
That-
Me
very
too.
well developed
It's
legs
actually
too.
really
So I'm like,
attractive.
that's takes
This
a lot
is-
of fucking hard work to
this
develop
is
those
just
kind
not
of legs.
this is just not true. I've seen a lot of asses in my time. I would put money. I've seen more asses than everybody on this podcast. And
Wanna bet?
every
Okay,
ass,
baby.
every single ass inserts differently. I haven't seen one ass that inserts exactly the same. I've seen low asses that inserts low. I've seen high asses all the way up to the back. I've seen wide asses. I've seen wide hips. There's just genetic differences, and there's a lot of real asses that can get big. But it's not just the ass; the entire legs are huge, man. I think you got to see in person. Like going to Gold's Venice, you know, I'm sure Zay's seen a lot, and these asses have striations and shit in it.
I have seen a lot.
You see?
Dude, a lot of ass.
Oh my
But
God.
it's everywhere though. It's the entire leg, the hamstrings, the calf, everything is completely developed. I think just saying that these girls are just getting implants and a bunch of shots, I think is kind of disrespectful to them because a lot of them
No,
bust
they
their
work.
ass to
They work.
grow their leg from scratch. I've seen it from no ass, flat ass to crazy legs and huge ass.
Listen,
All
listen,
natural,
Beatty,
you know?
Beatty,
My,
Beatty,
my,
they
my
work.
girl's Brazilian, and I've seen it happen.
Boom.
Yeah, Beatty,
there you
listen,
go.
I think they work. I'm not saying that they're not putting any kind of work in the gym, but what I'm saying is in that division, a lot of the top athletes, there is some cosmetic surgery that goes along with that. That is my belief.
I think you're wrong, bro. I think you're
that's
way
my
off.
belief.
I think
That's
you're
just
way
my
off.
belief.
You've
I
deeply
think the
offended
girls-
Beatty.
I know.
Because-
I deeply. He can't
No,
believe it. It's almost.
He's
It's
not even
almost like
laughing
I'm
anymore. He's like,
it's
he's
almost
It's
like
not
his
true.
dream. I'm like trying to like fight his dream or something. That like
No, Bo. No,
I don't know.
it's because you're talking from no. What is it? You're talking from a point of view you don't know. You're assuming. I'm talking from actually knowing a lot of women who've already done this and they're not doing that. You know what I'm saying?
I know ass. You don't know ass like I know ass.
I know. That's what he's telling me. Yeah, that's what he's telling me. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I get it's your opinion, but you can't make that big of an assumption without actually knowing. You haven't worked with wellness girls, you know what I'm saying? You haven't dated
I've
wellness
seen
girls.
this. Listen. I'm not saying everyone in the division has surgery. I've seen some girls like this girl that trains at RVA. I forget her name. She came ninth at the Olympia. That's real. You can tell naturally. That's naturally and real. But I'm saying you're gonna see some on that stage that there has been some work done. Now,
Yeah,
I'm not their doctor. I'm not gonna prove anything. I'm just saying this is what I think when I see it. Even if the muscle,
Yeah.
the ass has striations or whatever, but this topic we're not going to agree, so we may as well
No,
just
argued
just
about
move
ass
on
for
this one.
15 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Can we
get
move on, please?
I'm gonna get Ken a couple of wellness girls, but yo, grab it and you tell me if that shit is fake.
Yeah, you'll end up in prison.
yeah.
What the
Let's
fuck?
let's
Think you're
let's
gonna
burn
send
it. Let's
them
see.
Does that mean you hate fake tits, Ken?
Huh?
Huh?
Does that mean you hate fake tits, Ken? Or no?
No. I mean, listen. It's just like what we were talking about, right? Fake tits is actually a very good example of this. If you are dieted, lean, and shredded, you are not gonna have tits.
That's
Simple
true.
as that. So that's why they augment with fake tits. It's the same as muscle in the glutes. Your ass is not going to be all of a sudden bubbly and the rest of your body is lean as fuck. It doesn't make sense. And that's what I'm trying to explain here.
It's called
But-
muscle. It's like Ronnie Coleman had full glutes.
All right.
But listen. He's
Like,
not saying
it's called
implants. He's
muscle.
saying they're shooting
done.
something in there to make it that full look. He's
Yeah.
saying he's agreeing with you, but they're shooting something in there to give it that inflamed big ass look.
I
But
think we
it's
should
not
move on
implants.
because I'm willing to die
Somehow.
on this hill, and so is Beatty.
Mhm.
So it's
Oh,
better
yeah,
to just move on.
I'm going to my last breath, brother.
Beatty's
I guess you gotta
argument.
try it.
Beatty's argument. If it bounces back, it's real.
Yeah.
Oh man,
That's
I've had some.
science, bitch.
I'll definitely have some fake asses too, and there's definitely like a stark difference. I will say a stark difference. But okay, all right, let's move.
Wellness chicks are hot as fuck. Let's just say that, bro.
Yeah,
They are
well,
hot.
I mean,
They
thinking
are
back
hot.
to what we were actually talking about at the beginning, like, is this like a muscular division? Does it belong on stage? The fact that you just come out here and say wellness girls are hot as fuck, that's the first thing you have to say about them, tells me a lot about the answer to that question. It's like, yeah,
Mhm.
they're hot, good, great. I mean,
I
I don't
like
think
what
that's
I did.
how a show should be judged. You know,
It's not though.
I know.
Like, I
there's,
respect
there's-
the development of the legs, man, more than anything, because
But, like,
legs are
yeah.
fucking hard
why
to
are you
build.
guys? Why are most guys a fan of that division and a fan of bikini? It's because we like hot girls. It's that simple, you know.
Yeah.
That's not why I'm a fan of women's physique or figures, because there's a lot of proportion and
I
development.
think they're hot too.
Me
Yeah,
too.
sure, but like it's not the main focus, you know.
I think I think Stu is hot. I think Joe is hot as well.
Shit, man,
It,
you're really muddying the
I,
waters
I
right now.
fucking knew it.
Be careful.
I knew
yeah,
it.
come on now,
Pause.
now. Why do you think I got this whole crew together? You know what I'm saying? No, stop.
Diversity.
Nah, I don't think being hot takes away.
Diversity.
I don't. I don't think being hot takes away from your work as well. But I think wellness girls are very muscular.
It doesn't take away from it. It's just what is the focus of the division and why is it popular? If the reason it's popular is because pervy guys, that's a little, I don't know. That's off-putting to me.
Now
Okay,
that being said,
I'm sorry. I'll say this, and I'm gonna end it here. After that, look at
Please.
girls that are cyclists. They have giant ass legs and hamstrings.
Mhm.
They don't even have fucking ass. I'm sorry, like,
It's a
dude, you
bike.
cannot
What are you
convince
talking
me. You
it's
cannot
a bike,
convince
bro.
me,
What are you talking?
dude. No. Help me out. You cannot convince me that just because you squat every fucking day, your ass is going to be 3 times the size of a regular girl. Like, you can't convince me. If that's the case, why aren't our asses just that big as well?
If
We
you-
fucking squat and do all this
That don't even make
leg
sense.
shit like twice a week.
That makes
It
zero
does.
sense,
It
bro.
really does. It really does.
Bro,
If you're
girls
that
do
lean,
glutes 6 times a week.
What are you Yo, Ken? What are you
it's not.
talking about?
It's not just okay. So you're
What?
telling me that if you train your chest 6 times a week, your chest is going to be 3 times as big. Is
Hey,
that
I'm
your
gonna
logic here?
I'm gonna leave until you guys are done discussing this. Okay.
What are we
Alright,
talking
alright,
about?
Let's end
Like,
it there. Let's end it there.
every body part we train is 3 times the size of every normal person. We just train everything. They just happen to only really train their glutes and legs. It's no different that my biceps are 3 times the size of every other average guy as well. I just don't only train biceps. I train triceps and shoulders. It's just growing muscle, but it's the same reason why we grow muscle anywhere else. But it's not that deep. It's literally they focus on glutes and lower body. They just don't focus on upper body. You know, it's the proportion. It's not even that big. It's just proportionally to the upper body. The glutes and bodybuilding is bigger than wellness. They're just 50 pounds smaller, bro. You don't understand it because it's not something you think about or do or coach, or so it's hard for you to understand it. But it's really not that deep. They just have big legs, bro. It's not just their glutes. Their entire legs are huge, man. You got to see it in person and see the whole process and see them. I've seen girls from day one, from figure with like a normal ass to building that up. You know, I literally had a figure girl at the Olympia and I got her into wellness. You know, so it's like you gotta see it and do it and understand it for yourself to understand it. But it's not that as crazy as you think. And a lot of these
I could
asses,
be wrong. You may be right. I could be wrong. I'm just saying.
it's just not your wheelhouse. You know what I'm saying? So somebody else could be like, no way
Hey,
Ken can have
I like
chest
ass.
that big.
I like ass. Let's clarify here.
There's
Real
no
ass.
argument there.
Yeah.
You
Shit.
like ass? Beatty is passionate about ass.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Difference.
Zay, with Zay's girl Jackie's been building her glutes like literally every year since I've known y'all, right?
Yeah.
It's all muscle.
5
Literally,
years, 6 years.
she built it from scratch, all muscle, nothing weird is going on there. It's all muscle, but it's what five times the size, right?
You guys done yet?
You know what I'm saying? It have I'm same with you can say
Leave it
Coming up.
same with Joe's girl. Joe's been building for I don't know how long now, and it's just
Yeah,
It's an
shit.
investment, bro.
I have a
I invested in
transformation.
that.
Yeah.
You invested.
Let's move on from this because I mean what we're talking
brought
about
it
here,
back.
no, because we're talking about listen, a lot of these girls, I'm talking about Olympia, right? Like
Me too.
I don't want to talk about anyone's girls here. You guys, all your girls look great, but I'm saying when you see these girls, like the wellness girls, typically, that it sticks out. Like it's not like oh,
That's
you
also
just
a
see a
posing
regular
thing
person.
too, though. Like, you ever seen a girl
What?
like pose and it looks? It's the pose itself that makes it look kind of like that.
Maybe I'm on
So
a
many
form. Let's
factors.
move on. We've taken too much time on this ass subject, so let's move on.
There's so many. It's a whole process. There's so many factors. Yes, some of them pin shit in their glutes,
If you
but
see any other implant ass, bro, tag me. I'll take a look.
yeah. All right, now let's
He will gladly take a look.
We'll take a
let's
look. We examine it.
let's
Research
move on
purposes.
though. Let's move on.
Stu, come back now.
Where's Stu?
Stu, come home. It's
Come
time.
back.
We good?
Yeah, no,
we're
we
good.
good.
All right.
We're good.
All right,
No
so
more gluteus
Fucking
talk.
guys, Jesus.
but just one last thing before we move on.
Fuck out of here.
I'll fucking leave this. I'll just
This
quit
is-
this meeting right now.
This was so much better than the arm
Arm debate.
I was
always
fully
us, bro.
invested
Why
in this
is it-
one.
It's always it's always the black guys. Black guys always
Why is
fighting.
it always us, bro? Why is it always us? Like,
Black guys always fighting, bro. I think we said that at one point. We're like, either you always agree with the other black guy or you always argue with the other black guy.
Yeah, bro. I remember when you walked into the gym, Beatty, and I was like, "Oh, you found our other black guy." This is gonna go one of two ways.
But either it's gonna be a fight or we gonna get along.
Yeah.
All right, let's do questions. I got a podcast in like an hour and a half. You guys up for questions?
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
With daylight saving time. I'm just now seeing the group chat. Oh shit, I'm late. Okay. All right. How's everybody doing today?
How's everyone's
Great.
prep going? Joe, are you shredded yet?
I lost like 5 pounds from like Thursday to Saturday.
It's
That
a
was
big
interesting.
poop.
You're telling me. I was like, shit.
Wait, what's your weight now?
277.
Oh, okay.
Damn,
Okay.
you got 10 pounds
Damn,
on me,
yeah.
dude.
Coming
You're
down.
267 right now?
266, 7, yeah. Yeah.
That
I lost
was
a
quick.
lot of weight over the Arnold. This whole week
that-
has been
that was-
pretty. This whole week has been pretty quick for me. So,
Oh, okay.
Are you gonna eat back up or are you gonna keep coming down?
well, once I drop the what out, I'm probably going to fill out and look a lot better.
What's that? What's the what?
Shit that make you sweat. Ken knows.
I don't know, bro.
But yeah, that's been like a 2-week run. So I think tomorrow is my last day on that. So by Thursday or Friday, I'll probably be the same weight. But how you hold water on it, you get all flat and shitty looking. So I should look like a bodybuilder by the end of next week, hopefully.
I'm slowly looking like a bodybuilder again. It's kind of nice. Hey, I remember this guy.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into it.
Oh, I was doing arms yesterday, and I was getting veins back again the whole way through. The ones that veer off from the
Popping
main
out?
one.
Uh-huh.
Oh, what?
It's like the first time he's gotten shredded or something. Oh my god.
I know.
Yeah.
right?
So
You
cute.
when you're fat for so long, you forget what it looks like.
Yeah. Been a while.
Like, oh shit! I still got
All
it.
First question. Do wellness girls get surgery?
No.
Get the fuck out of here.
Nah. From Sid. If Stu and Paul are on, can you roast Dan Coffee Man? I don't know who that is.
It's the guy with the posing.
Oh, the opposing guy.
Who does the posing?
Okay, so this
That's a real
guy's,
person?
this guy's deal is he is self-proclaimed posing expert. I'm not a posing coach. I don't really know if he's good or not. Sid thinks he sucks, so maybe he sucks. But his deal is he slides into people's DMs, well-known people. He did it to me. And he was like, "Hey, can I help you with your posing?" And he's clearly fucking cloud chasing. And I don't, it's just kind of annoying. It's obvious what he's doing.
What's his
So,
IG?
Yeah, I've seen some of his stuff. It's it's questionable. A lot of the posing on there is kind of questionable.
Not to be mean or anything, but he doesn't look very good himself.
Yeah.
But Yeah, he's like a self-proclaimed posing expert. He's out of Texas, and he keeps on sliding into people's DMs, offering to help them with posing. Well-known people that will help give him clout, if he gets like a shared post with them or something like that. So yeah,
You guys, do you guys feel like there's been a lot? I just feel like there's been a lot of posing coaches popping up recently.
It's too
Yeah,
much,
man.
bro.
yeah, the KJ guy,
know?
and I think he does a pretty good job. He, has grown his business significantly in the last year because a
Yeah.
lot of people send their clients to him. My personal belief is like you can only do so much like over video call for posing, if you're going to teach someone to pose, it should really be in person. And then beyond that, like as an athlete, you just need to fucking practice,
You
man.
practice.
You need to practice and you need to play with things yourself. Cause like if you get half an hour on a video call, like you're not going to be able to perfect everything there. You need to spend hours over the course of a whole prep.
It takes a
Bro.
while too, because I'd say like my posing, it's still not the best, but it's a lot better. Sid was and kind of is my posing coach, but we were doing an hour every Sunday,
Yeah.
weeks on end, drilling.
Just
You can't
consistency, conditioning.
consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't just get that from like one session and they tell you, oh, tilt your elbow this way and then get you on your merry way. It's not, it doesn't work that way.
And
And
I think, a lot of people have personal trainers because they won't go to the gym otherwise, right?
yeah,
So if it's an appointment every week that forces you to like practice posing, I understand that, I guess. I mean, I do and I
yeah,
don't because I don't need that to like go to the gym. I don't need a personal trainer to force me to go to the gym. I don't need a personal
yeah.
trainer to force me to practice posing, although I don't do it as much as I should. It's still like the whole concept of paying somebody quite a bit of money for a posing session stuff is like it's odd to me. It's not something I would ever do, but if you get value out of it, fine. Make sure they know what they're
Yeah.
doing though, and make sure they're not sleazy and trying to chase
That's all
clout and
this
whatever the fuck.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I feel like there's just been a lot. There just seems to be a lot of people popping up as posing recently. I don't know if it's because personal training has become a saturated field and people are trying to differentiate themselves in some kind of way. But yeah, it's just something that's interesting to me. It's just like the last 2 years, it's like, man, there's like a posing coach on every block,
And,
Bro.
trying to
and
reach
it's
out for
kind of
services.
weird. Like there's this. Not everyone is doing this, but like they kind of sell the idea that like it's all an illusion. If you're not big enough yet, we can just pose you properly and you're gonna win the show. Like, no, actually, you need to go from light heavies to heavyweights, and then you're gonna be competitive. You're not gonna illusion your way into winning a show.
Yeah. I was
It's the
just
last
about to say,
1%.
yeah, a lot of people just think their pose is going to change their whole physique, but if you don't have the size or you just don't have the look yet, you're not going to look any better.
Yeah.
I've
Not
done it
gonna
with
work.
some of my clients, usually in person if I can. And like when there's a gap there, I'm like, you just need more muscle there. They'll just tell
Yeah,
me straight up. It's like
100%.
you just
That's
need
it.
more rear delt. You need more lat. It's like you're not gonna pose around that. You can to some extent, but it's not gonna fix the problem. You just need to put tissue on.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
foundation has to be there to make the posing look good too.
Yeah.
I think most of it is bullshit, man. I gotta be honest with you. I think become a business, and I think we got to the point people are doing it for the wrong reasons. It's kind of like coaching and kind of like personal training. When you have people doing it for the wrong reasons, like training, right? They try to make themselves stand apart, right? That's why people do these crazy, weird angles and exercise that you never seen before because they want it to be like, oh wow, this person's different. He's not just doing fucking hammer strength and bent over rows and shit like that. He has something new and fresh and different. So what happens is they start doing way too much, way too fucking much, trying to change a million things at once. And I've seen with my own eyes, people become worse posers. I've seen people become worse posers working with a posing coach. I won't say any names because it's usually people I like, but I've seen them work with a posing coach and look worse because they're trying to do a million things and take a million critiques, and they can't take that all in. So they were just posing comfortably what felt and looked good, And then now they're trying to, you got to raise your elbows up and you got to squeeze and you got to turn, and they look awkward and weird now, because these people, because this person, he wants to like he's doing his job. So all he needed really to do is like a Chris Cormier, right? Sometimes he won't even charge some of these guys. He'll just be like, okay, lean back a little more, good, that's it. But if you're charging somebody $500, you're not gonna say just lean back, you're good, and walk away. So now you're gonna be like, okay, squeeze your rhomboids and okay, poke your fucking butt out, and you're trying to do all this extra shit that you have no business doing, and now the person looks fucked up.
You're selling a like a customer service experience essentially, which is
that point.
I don't know any good coaches out there who like just regular like bodybuilding coaches. I don't like if they're good, like they're going to send you a plan. They're going to make changes to that plan. They're going to ask for feedback from you if they need it, and they're going to roll with it. They're not going to fruit it up and get to know you necessarily and like waste your time basically. And this is so much more susceptible to that sort of customer servicey trap.
I saw a posing coach, and he's posing a client. And you would have thought this guy was in blood and guts the way he was posing him. He's like, okay, go squeeze out. There it goes. And he's clapping and jumping around. And I relax, bro. What are you doing, bro? Like he's making it look like he's putting him through a squat workout. Bro. And he's yelling, come on, more and more. I'm like, bro, chill the fuck out. Like he was hitting it right. Honestly, he's leaning way too far back now. But like they try to make it a whole experience to justify how much money they're charging.
I don't know how much these guys charge. I have never inquired about this stuff. Like I said, I would never pay for it. I paid for one posing session once from a guy up in Washington, and he was actually a good dude, and he did help me with some things. But this was like, I put on like 30 pounds since then. So like my physique is totally different. I need to pose differently now. But you figure that out as you go. It's just a practice thing, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I went with Kenny Wallach here originally before I started working with Sid, and Kenny's great. He's really good. But I was in off season at the time, and it's like you're off season. Like by the time you're in shape, like your body just doesn't look the same. So it's like a lot of the stuff that you're working on, it's kind of like you just have to start it all over again for the whole process. So
I think Ken is good. Kenny Wallach. I think Sid is good. I think KJ is good. I think Keon is good. Terrence, I don't know how much Terrence does these days. I think he's busy, but at one point he was doing a really good job, right? But it's because they don't try to do more. They don't try to sell you something and do a shit ton of shit they don't have to do. Zayd helped one of my clients, Angel, with his posing for his first show, and it was great because Zayd wasn't even charging the guy. He was just helping one of my clients out, just cause, right? And he wasn't trying to make it look like he's some guru. He was just like, turn a little more, cool, and keep practicing that, bro. Go practice, And Zayd is a good poser, so that's really all it takes. You can,
he did good, help. Right?
He did. I thought he did when he started, bro. He was bad, bro. And he watches this, bro. Angel, you was bad, bro. He couldn't like open up his lats. He was like, I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck, But by the end of the shit, we looked pretty good. He was a little bit nervous on stage, but he hit all that shit honestly perfectly. So
first show, yeah.
That's all, and he got shredded glutes for the first show. Shit, I still don't got fucking shredded glutes, So, I mean but that's all it takes. Get some practice, learn how to do it properly. Please don't pay somebody to make a routine for you, and you're doing all these floor poses, and you're trying to look like Barry DeMay, bro. You're not Barry DeMay. Just hit your fucking poses and get the fuck off the stage, bro. Fuck, bro. Okay.
You got 60 seconds at the amateur level anyways. You can't do jack with that.
What are you really doing,
Yeah, just hit your mandatories, get your pictures, get off stage.
Yeah. I'll be getting a little groovy, but I'm not gonna lie. I'll be getting to my R&B zone, but you got to make it quick.
Baby, oh my goodness.
but that's also not for everybody's physique. I don't want to see Stu posing to fucking Mary J. Blige. I don't want to see that shit.
I'd love to see that.
like R&B. I don't want to see Stu posing to Mariah Carey. I'm sorry, I don't want to see that. I want to see Stu. I want to see Stu do what Stu does. That's it, you know. So, all right. I want to see Joe propose to Mary J.
I worked with Joey Belt for the USA's for the last few weeks.
Okay.
Honestly, I like Joey as a person, but I feel like he made me pose. It's made me so uncomfortable doing all the shots. So it's the kind of training. Like when I thought I would go on stage, I will 100% forget to flex some muscle groups because of the way you have to set up. You know. So I took some pictures before and after, and I still like the way I do things. I like posing for someone to take a look at you and tell you what to do. But if you're a good bodybuilder, you should have a good criteria of how to hit the mandatories at least, which is what you're really judged on, you know? So I ended up going with my own thing and practiced it with Doug, and we did just fine because he would have me for a side chest, for example. I would put my leg that's next to the judges way close to my ankle versus like mid-foot, you know, so that changes the way of your hamstring, how it looks from the side. So stuff like that he would have me do, and I just did not really feel I could memorize it, that's for sure, and I didn't feel comfortable doing it, and I'm sure I'm gonna fuck it up. So I just wanted to try his lessons because everybody else was, you know.
Yeah, simple like that. And he posed.
I always had Casey and Paul. Like when I would just do
before
my
I
own
forget,
thing,
sorry, he had me do the hip. You know, when you hit a back shot, instead of squeezing glutes, you pop your fucking hip out for the both shots. And I'm like, bro, I have some nice shredded fucking glutes. I can't be doing that.
Why?
You know?
Why?
You gotta show them.
You don't want to take away your glutes, yeah.
Exactly. So that's one of those things I didn't really agree. And I just didn't tell him, but I went with my own way because he wanted me to do the Regan way, basically, you know, and that doesn't work for me. You know, he's like, it makes your legs bigger. And I'm like, I don't think I'm not a pro yet because of my legs, bro. You know,
Of all the things,
I think exactly.
Zay does not need bigger legs right
Zay
now.
needs more legs. Yeah, like what a joke.
Come on, man. So, basically, what you're saying is, don't hire Joey. That's what you're saying, Zay.
You can if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. But if you are someone who is comfortable with what you got, you just need extra somebody to tweak a little bit, not change your entire style. He literally changed everything. It's like a whole different person how you want me to pose. For example, when I do a front double, I just elongate my torso and I flare out my lats and I squeeze my arms. He wants me to push my hips back so it gives me more sweep. And just doing that fucking thing, man, it makes you so awkward to flex your arms while you do that. You know, it doesn't look good. It makes you shorter, actually, as a person, too.
Whatever you do, just like fucking practice it a lot. That is going to be the most important thing. Because if they make you hold a pose for 12 seconds and you're pulling a vacuum, can you do that? That's
exactly.
You know,
that's hard to do.
That's the best thing, too. Yeah, I was just going to say that because when I did my poses, I got comfortable with the ones I liked or whatever. And they're pretty much mine with the smallest, like, little elbow tilt or whatever with people, my friends watching me, and then just doing those for rounds of holds. And just, not losing any of the body parts while you're holding the pose. That's it.
If you're gonna hit a vacuum, you have to have like another transitional front double bicep just in case. Sometimes they make you hold that bitch for a minute, and you're like, bro, you can't just breathe out and let it go. So you gotta maybe tilt it, flex it a little bit, something. Because if you just hold that bitch, But listen, I've seen Keon hold that bitch. I'm like, Keon, he about to relax. That motherfucker just holds it right there. I'm like, holy shit. Yo, that's hard, bro. But Keon
like
also,
that.
about how he can hold it, but he can also flex it, and it looks just as good. You know,
how he would do both. He'll do both. He do it, and then you flex it, and then he would show the straightest. You know. So
now Derek and Keon, they don't flex it. So I'm watching Derek like, you gonna drop it? Motherfuckers don't drop it because I feel like they look so much better in that vacuum that they're like, nah, no way. If Keon flexes down. Ooh, I don't know about that one. I think Derek, he won't look as good, but he won't. I don't think he'll look that bad. But them
It
motherfuckers
would
hold that
because
shit.
his abs are not so nice looking.
Compared to Hadi, you don't want to do that. You don't
What
want to
about
flex
Keon or
Well,
Derek,
both of
Keon.
them really. Both of them, honestly.
Derek's abs are good. It's just his waist. His waist doesn't appear as small when he flexes down on it.
Yeah. So those guys, like Stu said, they must have just practiced that shit every fucking day because they don't let up. They'll run through the rounds and they'll never release that vacuum. So props to Keon and Derek for that.
And so hopefully Sid is pleased with that answer.
Oh damn! I forgot.
Sid always wants smoke, bro. Sid's always looking for smoke.
Sid loves it.
Yeah, he likes to
He
smoke.
loves the drama, bro.
Okay, you guys. When you guys see,
Hey,
when you guys see,
real quick, I've been taking my growth hormone bottles and like hiding them around my apartment in funny places, and my girlfriend has to like find them in funny places. This is like a game we've been playing for the last week or two.
What a fun game.
I think it's
Like where?
hilarious.
Like where do you hide it usually? Like, what's
I
the
just
go-to?
I just put one in the pressure cooker because I knew she was going to start like cooking. She's doing it right now.
She might cook your growth, bro.
Yeah, it's a good thing she saw it.
In Stu's house, instead of Easter egg hunting, they go growth hormone hunting.
Yeah, you go for growth.
Good man. She's found like every single one.
Okay. When you guys see somebody like Tatted Tanner cycle, what are your thoughts? Does anybody know who Tatted Tanner is?
Yeah.
Yeah, you say yeah?
I
That Instagram guy?
misidentified by accident. Yeah. So there was another guy named Nate Udi who joined our Discord, and we basically roasted him and flamed him until he left because he's looks super natty and takes a bunch of drugs. And I got him and Tanner mixed up because they're basically the same person. And yeah, so I accidentally called out Tanner on my story. I corrected myself later on. But yeah, what do you guys think when you see a 200-pound kid on 1.5 grams of gear? It doesn't look like they work out.
You're doing a great job, but double it and you'll be better off.
That's it. Yeah.
Do 3 grams.
I mean, maybe it's not for you at that point. I mean, dude, people are growing on like 200 grams, 200 tests. People are putting on muscle. If you're still looking natty,
Zayd is on that.
Well, the thing about like those guys,
growing,
the thing about those guys is like, you look at their Instagram and it's literally all talking about drugs, right? They never post any training videos. They never talk about what they're eating. You have no fucking idea what the rest of their routine looks like. And obviously they're not going to make any progress if they're not doing that properly. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. That's probably where the issue is, because if you're taking that much shit and it's real and you're not growing, everyone's going to grow if you're training and dieting properly. Mm-hmm. But it's probably, at least to some extent. But that's, that doesn't get clicks and views on Instagram. So why share that? Why even do it?
So sometimes I say like, hey, who cares? Like, let everybody do what they want to do. But now I'm starting to see, the effects of that. Like, doing it in private is one thing, but because they post it and share it, now I kind of see the negative effects that maybe I wasn't as aware of. I'm like, we're all adults. I don't think that whatever you choose to do, if you choose to copy somebody, that's your choice. But it's not even copying, it's influence, right? Because I have a good amount of young clients, and they won't tell me directly this person's name or whatever, but I kind of see some of the fears they have. Like, I'm going to lose all my size if I come off TRT. I'm like, bro, you're 18. Fuck a TRT. We're not doing TRT, But it's like they're watching these people and they think they should be doing more and more and more. And that's not good, because they're learning from people who they're already bigger than. My clients are already bigger than these guys. But for some reason, mentally, I think because they're so young, they just can't they don't get it, so it makes my job harder as a coach, coaching young clients when they're getting influenced by people who, but I guess you could say, well, he hired me, he didn't hire Tanner, so he's still off to a better start.
What's fucked up is there are people hiring Tanner.
That's fucked up. That's really fucked up.
So yeah,
what's amazing to me is a lot of these people that do stuff like this. The truth is, a lot of people that are natural, they're natural, but they're curious, right? They want to know what this shit is really like. And you come to a guy like me, Beatty, Stu Zayd, and you will probably say, oh, if you do tests, yeah, it's just like your food, it's just like your training, everything has to be in play. But when you have someone who would sensationalize that and tell you that this is going to be that thing that makes you this way, right? It's a little more appealing. And I feel like that's how they get some of these guys hooked. And Beatty, to your point, where it's dangerous is we all know, I mean, everyone here, you did your first cycle, you probably thought you were going to be Ronnie Coleman, and by the end of the 12 weeks, you're like, shit, I put on some muscle, but it wasn't like, I'm not like pro status, you realize how hard it could be. And I think that, a lot of these kids get hurt because first off, they're going on a lot of this stuff. And sometimes it's like, once you go to the dark side, man, it's not that easy to go back to being a Jedi. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's dangerous. It's really dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, most of these kids will be done with lifting in the next year or two. I think this is kind of a social phenomena that's kind of trendy, and it'll move on to the next subculture pretty soon. Whatever influencers end up doing. I got it in my head that maybe this whole thing was like an elaborate troll. Like this guy is like saying he's taking almost 2 grams of gear, but he's not taking anything, and he doesn't even work out or something. Like just to fuck with us. That would be
that could work.
Like
that could work too.
So funny. And, he still gets like tens of thousands of followers off of it.
I think that's even worse.
But it would be funny.
You're right.
Like he's just fucking with kids, and it just kind of goes to show how easily influenced they are. Sure, they're going to get fucked up, but to a certain extent, that's on them as well. I mean,
I also think there's a subculture that's been created in regards to just gear, right? Like, I mean, Boston Lloyd, he didn't intentionally want it that way, but Boston and Rich kind of created that subculture, and Tony Huge kind of took that to the next degree, and I feel like these kids are trying to capitalize on that kind of sensation and that kind of fame, whatever monetary, financial incentive or profit they get from that. I feel like they're just trying to capitalize on that aspect of the industry, because let's be real, there is a fan base, or there is viewership of people that are just interested in that kind of sensational, crazy, drug related, fitness, if you will.
Yeah.
And they kind of just prey on that kind of fan base,
Like Boston and Rich at least did it at a high level.
Yes.
Right. Obviously, like they had their issues, right? But Tony did not do it at a high level. So
yeah,
much less respect for him as a result. But like these kids have never even competed before. They don't even they look like they started working out 6 months ago. I looked better than them before I touched a weight in high school.
Yeah.
Like, and genetics aside, like you shouldn't be doing that. But again, these kids have to take responsibility for the decisions they're making. I made stupid decisions early on, and I fixed it. Hopefully these kids aren't fucked up to the point where they can't fix it. Sure, some of them won't be though.
It's like, you guys familiar with natural selection, right?
Yeah, sure.
So the reason why human beings were able to evolve over all these centuries is because the people who didn't have, who weren't smart enough to survive, who did stupid shit and walked off of cliffs and played stupid games, they fucking died, and they didn't have any kids.
Yeah.
So we got smarter and smarter. Now we're protecting the stupid, and a bunch
We have
Yeah.
to pay for their healthcare bills when they can't do it themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So stupid people are having a bunch of kids left and right. And then this is why we kind of live in a stupid world, right? We live in a make-believe stupid world because of that. So sometimes, you know what? Maybe it's best we just let natural selection take its course. Yo, Tanner, go run it up to 5 grams. See what happens.
Good
And
luck.
then and don't have kids. You probably can't have kids on 5 grams. So better off us.
I don't even know this guy, dude. Who's
Me neither.
that?
It's for the best. Trust
I'm
me.
sorry,
You're
I'm-
not missing anything.
For the best.
Low key, I'm kind of being a dick, even though I don't know the guy, but it goes for
It's
anybody.
Stupid. Yeah, stupid.
Yeah, it goes for anybody. So I guess if you're not, actually, we all did it. We did a couple of stupid shit, but we're smart enough to learn and be like, you know what? Maybe this isn't the way. Every one of us, probably besides Joe and Ken, we've tried stupid shit and we learned quick and we're like, this is not it. And we learned from our mistakes and became smarter. So natural selection, we deserve to survive. And then I guess if you want to just copy Tanner and do a bunch of stupid shit, then that's on you, brother. That's on you. So good luck to Tanner. And good luck to all the young guys who follow guys like Tanner. More power to you. Okay. Maybe 1 or 2 more.
Yeah.
These have been pretty toxic questions so far.
Yeah, it's been.
You were talking about positivity, like a couple, like now we're
yeah.
just like shitting on everyone.
One thing I really did like about Rich was him always preaching about food in his training.
Yeah,
Like
True.
he did on top of like outside of the drug use, his stupid doses. He even proclaimed that his doses were stupid, like high.
Mhm.
But it was just like because he said he wanted to experiment, that was it. But he always promoted the food in the training.
To be honest, training at Goals NoHo and hearing all these stories about Rich being there and like how he was, I like him even more. Because we didn't get to see that side of him, like the gangster side of Nick. We didn't get gangster side of Rich. We didn't see that part. So I like hearing these stories, him flinging somebody across the gym. I'm like, oh yeah, Rich got down like that. I like that. I like to hear
shit,
it.
really?
Yeah,
I can see it. I can see it. But
because Rich being Rich, you can imagine the kind of stupid shit people probably say to him. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
yeah.
All right. All these questions are kind of toxic, if I'm being honest. And
This generation
kinda-
is toxic.
I'm
For our
kind of
viewers. Thanks,
I've been
guys.
kind of grumpy this past week. So if it comes across that way, I'm a little more dickish. I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
It's 'cause
Ken.
you just-
Me and Ken was arguing for like an hour. I'm sorry, Ken.
Yeah.
Because he just
I
recently
didn't
found
mean
out all
All
the
love,
bosses are
bro.
fake.
All love, bro. All love.
Imagine in prep, bro. I can't. I'm gonna have to let Ken host because it's gonna
Nah,
be. It's
man.
gonna be.
Hey,
A couple
baby, have you
months
been
from
going
now,
to
it's
Fit
going
Nation?
to be ugly.
Huh?
Have you been going to Fit Nation?
I haven't. Well, why are you asking that, Joe? I haven't for like a
No.
week.
Okay, because I mean, we haven't seen you. So after this week, I was gonna text you like, "Yo, like, have you been there?" But I knew I was gonna talk to you on the podcast. But
What the fuck?
Oh, no, no.
Joe, speaking of Fit Nation, where the hell is Paul? I haven't spoken to Paul in like forever, man.
Paul's perfectly fine. Paul just like, okay, if you ever care to watch, like, we're going to start putting YouTube videos out. We just put up one and we have one coming up like either today or tomorrow. Paul doesn't talk much. He's not good in front of a camera. So like, he's very like, he just feels uncomfortable in front of a camera. It's pretty interesting.
I see that.
But
I
he's
like
the most
Paul a lot. But
But
like,
he's the
like
most
Paul.
outgoing guy in person. He really
Off
is.
camera, right? Yo, I think we just talked. I think before Joe got on, we talked about that. Off camera, bro, is nonstop. He's basically he's worse than me. Everything is we're just talking shit and being sarcastic the whole time.
He's just as stupid as me too. So
Yeah.
it's really interesting. Once the camera's on him, it's almost like he stops understanding how to be himself. He doesn't know what to say. Almost, it's weird. It's interesting.
Old school. He's old school. Like he
school,
don't really fuck with that camera shit. He don't,
Yeah.
Even when we film the videos, he'll say funny shit, but like not really toward the camera, kind of just to us, like on the side. It's just not
It's
really
playing off of the stuff we're saying.
Yeah,
But he won't start it off. Like he'll just play along, kind of thing.
Facts. Yeah. But Paul like 4 weeks out or like 2 weeks out, oh, he not saying shit. He not saying one word.
Mhm.
But that's everybody for the most part.
But he's perfectly fine. He's good. You know, he's just kind of like trying to figure things out as far as life, or because like
Yeah.
he's on his way out and really teeter tottering the thought of what to do after this show,
Mhm.
Okay.
because this is going to be his first and maybe even his last open show. But you know when
Oh,
like it's like that thing where time is undefeated. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like, he started it late, and his body has certain injuries here and there, and his biggest concern is his legs and stuff. And so
Mhm.
seeing what he can do at this show, and he was talking to me about doing another off season. I'm like, outside of bodybuilding, Paul, like once like it's like everybody wants to be a certain level, right? But you got to call it when it's time. I told him recently, like, do you think you should start focusing on maybe like starting a family with somebody, or like
I think
doing
so.
something
I
like on
think so.
that route? And that was me just being a friend. Like I love the guy. I want him to ride this out with me and stuff. But he's 14 years older than me. His life dynamic is completely different than mine. So I was like, I think that's more important. But I'm not going to tell a guy to
Mhm.
stop working if something he really wants to do. But at the end of the day, it's like, is it worth it? Kind of thing
Mhm.
anymore.
And also
Yeah.
like I mean, you're at the start of your career. It's almost like because you guys are so close, he can kind of have that experience vicariously through you as well.
Yeah,
You know,
that's kind of
it
what I'm
doesn't mean that.
saying. Like,
Yeah, if he stops competing, like he can still, you guys can still be training partners all the way throughout your
mhm.
pro career. You know what I mean? And that
Yeah.
would be a cool experience as well.
Yeah,
So
I told him too. Everywhere I go, I'm like, dude, I want you to come with me, kind of thing. But
yeah,
there is a certain level that I have to be at that he doesn't necessarily have to do anymore, kind of thing.
yeah,
So it's just enjoy life,
Mhm.
when you still have so much to live outside of
Mhm.
bodybuilding. Like
yeah,
it's not your everything. It's a big hobby, a big part of your life, but I think every bodybuilder that's really all about this shit has a really hard time like trying the idea of letting it go and
disconnect.
kind of being
Yeah,
Mhm.
somewhat normal. Like, I'm talking somewhat normal because you're still going to train, you're still going to eat your meals and stuff. But like
Mhm.
that level that you have to do it at when you're competitive, compared to just trying to be a normal person, is really hard, like a mind fuck. And that's something he's kind of battling with right now,
How old is
trying to
he?
decide. 44. He just turned
Oh man,
44 in
bro.
January.
By the time I'm that age, I'm gonna be sick, sipping Mai Tais on the beach.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like,
Well,
like,
But that's what I'm saying, like it's like I
you
think
have
it's
to.
just because when you sign up for this, I think we all have like an idea in our head, like a dream per
yeah,
se, of how far we can take this. And when you get to a certain level and you see like almost like fuck, maybe I can't get to that point. It fucks
ceiling.
with you.
Yeah,
As a man, kind of like, yeah, you reach your ceiling. It's like fuck, but I feel like I could do more. But it's like, how long do you really want to keep going to
keep
try to
pushing.
make that more happen? But
Mm-hmm.
when reality hits, it's like,
It's
what
different.
am I doing here? What am I doing? Kind of thing.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
my ceiling was the Brooklyn Grand Prix. That's as good as it gets for me.
That's as good as it gets.
you peaked.
Yeah.
I peaked at like 23, man. That was the best. That was the best Beatty to grace the stage, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, people. No, but what I'll say is like because we can do this with this idea of like we're just gonna push everything to we're gonna push everything further. Like okay, at some point, yeah, I might have some kids later on. I might start a family later on. You can say that at 30, but when you're 44, it becomes a lot realer. Like wait, hold up, wait, when is later? When exactly is later, right? So at that point, yeah, it's obviously tougher because Stu starting at 25 he can call it quits at 40 easily. No harm done,
Yeah.
no regrets. But if you started at 38, then it's like, wait, hold up. I mean, am I
That's when
gonna
Paul started too. Exactly. Yeah. That's why.
exactly? So then it's like, is 44 too early? Maybe I go 45. Maybe I go 50. But you, at some point, you got to be like, yo, there's life after bodybuilding. There's life during bodybuilding, but most importantly, at some point, you might have to trade it off a little bit.
I,
I don't
I
Ain't
know
think
nothing
we
because
had
wrong
that
with that.
conversation on. Yeah, I think we had that conversation on Monday, as a matter of fact, like earlier on this week. Because I
yeah,
mean, we were 12 weeks out, and we're 11, but like it's getting realer, right? It's coming in quick. But I think the
Yeah,
idea of that kind of fucks them too. Like, fuck, this is just gonna fly, and then that's it, like kind of thing. So
yeah. Damn. We just talking about Paul's personal life openly, like it's all good. Like
I mean, it's not super personal. I think it's one of
not
those
that personal.
things. Yeah, I think it's one of those things every bodybuilder deals with at some
sure.
point. And so you
Yeah.
need to. We're all going to cross that line. We're all going to feel what he's feeling, and it's just like, even Ronnie, bro. Like he lost like 4 more times after he lost that first Olympia. He didn't know when to stop. But it's all you know. It's
Wow.
like that fire's in there still, and you just don't want to hang it up because, like, fuck, what do I do now? What do I do
Facts,
now?
facts.
But
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that he's at least thinking of it is a good thing, you know.
Mhm.
I just kind of feel like it's worse when people are telling you to stop versus when you make that decision yourself, you know. So
Yeah, I'm so like, dude, I love training like hard with the guy. I love having that
yeah,
push and me pushing him too. But even like this, it's just like you could just tell, like it's like fuck,
yeah,
man, like he eventually can't train at the level that I train. I have
yeah.
way less years, way less mileage on my body, kind of
Yeah.
thing too. So it's
Well,
just
if
it's up to him
well,
though.
hopefully when he's done, hopefully he'll be coming on the podcast more. You know what I mean? Like because
Mhm.
Yeah.
Paul's got some nice insights. He's got some nice takes.
He's a really wise guy. He's a really wise guy.
Yeah, yeah.
We gotta get him to open up on the podcast more. Just
I
get
ask him
get
every
loose.
week. You gonna jump on? You gonna jump on? Nah, I'm asleep. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. One more. I promise. One more. All right. Let's see. You guys think everybody's doing well? Everybody doing okay? Stu looks like he's fading a little bit.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Just lost
Just
that
making
hour
sure.
today, you know.
Hey man, that was so fucked. I'm telling you, like, I was like, fuck. And then the
Okay.
appointment was all early. Like first thing in the morning, you go and get deep tissue done. It fucking hurts. It's like the worst thing ever. I had you guys ever get your forearms worked on?
Oh
No,
no,
I
it's
don't
so
think so.
bad.
I don't think
Yeah.
so.
That's a different kind of fucking hurt, man. They dig into this little shit, the little elbow extensors and all that shit. Like
Oh no. Okay.
that's what I deal with this morning.
Do you think Phil Heath would come back for the prize money increase at the Arnold?
No.
Phil's done, bro. I'm sorry. He's no. That's it.
Furthermore, do you think he can come back, and would his physique still hold up at a high level?
At a high level, yes, but winning, no.
Yeah, and he's
I
not
think
gonna
he could
do
still
it
crack
unless
the
he can
top
win.
5, top 6. I don't think
I'll put it like this. Sorry, Joe. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. No, that was it. Top 5, top 6.
Yeah,
I could see
I'll
him
say this.
doing.
I think if Phil was like, I want to make a comeback, and he sat down with Hani, and he said, I really want to make a comeback, I feel like Hani would be like, maybe we should sit this one out, bro. Don't
Yep.
tarnish your legacy.
Me too.
Like
I
your
agree.
time has come and it's past, kind of thing.
Yeah, and I'll leave it
Am
at
I
that.
am I the only one who doesn't want to see Phil Heath and Kai Green and Jay Cutler come back? I don't want to see it.
No,
I'm
I
sorry.
don't want to. No.
Because it's not
Like,
them
it'll just
anymore.
tarnish the memory that we have
Yeah,
them on stage.
just don't tarnish the legacy.
Yeah.
Just like, Flex Wheeler or Kevin Lafroni, when they did the comeback thing, I was like, okay, it's nice to see you, but you don't need to do that.
Yeah, just don't tarnish
I
the
would-
legacy, man.
I would much rather go back and watch Maryland Muscle Machine. It's still there. I can go back and
Yeah.
watch it.
Where did Kevin
Yeah.
place that year? Do you guys
Last-
remember?
It was
Where you
Last
think?
place?
He didn't have any
Yeah.
legs.
No way. Last place, huh?
Boy,
Oh,
he's
way.
50. What you want me?
Bro, where do you think he was going to
50?
place? Like,
Top 5? What are you looking for?
Hey,
No,
man,
I
hey, bro.
mean-
Well,
Look,
fucking
See, Olympia,
Dexter.
bro.
Dexter placed what? When
Ninth.
he was.
ninth
He
Ninth?
at the last
that
one.
shit.
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
it's like Dexter never stopped. I don't know.
That's the big difference. Yeah, that's a huge difference.
Okay, one thing you have to remember is Dexter already started beating Kevin before Kevin even retired. So that was Kevin. Like, you can't expect Kevin to be better than before he retired. So if you use that math, I mean, he didn't stand a chance from the jump. And and Dexter was actually a much better bodybuilder, after that than he was by that time, But yeah, I have zero interest. I mean, I'd rather go back and watch the '09 Olympia and watch Jay Cutler do battle there. I don't want to see Michael Jordan come back and play. I don't want to see Allen Iverson.
I also
I'm
think
good.
it's so dangerous. Like it's so dangerous, like to flirt with that idea, telling these guys if you retire, especially the ones that retired with their health intact, and telling them to come back and go through this whole entire process again at the age of late 40s and early 50s. It's like, if you guys really care about these guys, like, why would you even flirt with that idea?
I don't get
It
it.
doesn't make sense to me.
I don't get it. I really
And
don't.
don't even get me started with the Masters Olympia, because that's
I
just
was
whole
gonna say
another
that.
one.
Yeah,
It's
I was
just
gonna say that it's enticing people. Like you should raise the prize money to entice more people. I'm like, no, 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 no. Why would you do? Why would you want to entice
yeah.
more people
This is
with
a young
money?
man's game.
Yeah, I was just gonna
Get it
say that.
in, get it over with, and get out.
So
Yeah.
Have a life after.
pay them 200 grand to get all these older gentlemen out of retirement for what? Get that one paycheck and maybe set yourself back five years in health.
200 grand, bro. It was $20, 20,000,
20
Yeah.
bucks, damn.
20,000
$20. I'll do it for free.
for a first place winner for the Masters. Oh, it was 20,000.
Yeah, and they ain't doing it for the money. Ideally,
Yeah,
they should have like other businesses and sources of income set up.
you should. Listen, like it's one thing if we see what's his name? Shit. Phil Klahar, or if we see what's the other guy's name? The 212 Olympia.
Kamal.
Come on.
Come on. Oh, damn. See? Come on. I'm stressed, bro. I'm stressed. Help me out, fellas. Uh, or if we see Kamal do the show. But even though Hide won, I don't want to see Hide come out of retirement. I want to see Hide at Powerhouse Gym training clients. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
Sipping the
Phil
margarita.
hasn't been doing the sport for quite so long. I mean, he probably started 10 years ago or something like that. Actually, I don't know about that. But Phil is coached by Blue, so I've talked to him, and there are some things that he has to deal with in prep because of the age of his body. He had a long year last year because he did the Orlando, and then he did the Masters and then he did the Olympia, and awkward timing between all those. Not really time to clean out completely, relax, and then go into the next thing. So his body was beat up by the time he got to the Olympia, and you could see it.
Yeah.
Not by really any fault of his own. It's just he's 50 something.
Yeah. But okay. Let's say hypothetically, if Phil actually did come back and Hani co-signed it, and Phil took like a tatted Tanner cycle, and trained 100%, whatever that means, and actually came back, could his physique hold up at it's not even an age thing, but could his physique hold up today?
Hold up, yes, but when? No.
Yeah,
Would
I think if he came back, like, don't get me wrong, he would still look big. He'd look like a pro bodybuilder if you gave him a year to train and come back for the next Olympia. But it's not going to be 2011, 2012 Phil, and that's what people are looking for, which just sucks. It's like why sacrifice and go through that process anyway? So
he's got better shit to do, man.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like,
I think it's not a good thing. If you even need the 100 grand, that's bad. I think at that point in your career, when you have all these Olympia titles and you're established, you shouldn't even be enticed by the money. If you're retired Olympia champion and you feel like you need to come back, like Tyson, you need to come back and fight people just to earn a living, that's all bad. That means things went wrong. That means we're not in a good place in bodybuilding.
Yeah, that's what makes it sad to see. It's like, why are you doing this?
Yeah, yeah. I remember being a kid and seeing Tyson getting beat the fuck up. I'm like, yo, dad, why are you telling me this is the best boxer of all time? What is this? He's like, yo, you gotta understand, this is a different time, baby. And I'm like, literally Tyson interview. He's like, yeah, at this point, I'm just doing it for the money. I'm like, did this motherfucker just say that? So growing up, I was like, yo, I can't fuck with Tyson until I started watching his old fights. So I'm like, damn, yeah, that motherfucker is the greatest of all time, But we don't want that memory. We don't want the memory of of somebody coming in at 20% and like, oh, this is okay. Is this Phil Heath? Okay, cool. We don't want that. We don't want these kids seeing that. Is this your king? You're like, no, that's not it. So
Because especially with Joe just mentioned, Ronnie Coleman came back like 4 more Olympias before he hung it up. No one talks about that because no one wants to remember
we don't.
that part of Ronnie Coleman. You know what I
No,
mean? Like no one wants to remember that. So it's like
no.
Is that true?
just
I
keep
think he came back only 07. I don't think he came back 08. Did he?
No, he was doing guest posings after that. He
guest
kept coming back for
posings.
guest
It was
posing,
guest posings,
but he
yeah.
came back. But he came back. No, he came back
07.
twice. Did he come back 07, 08? No, you right. I think only 07.
Just 07. 07
I
got
think it was
fourth place.
07.
Yeah.
Wait.
07.
07 was the year where he had the high top. He had the high top fade with the goatee. You remember that year?
No. Oh yeah. I think so.
His
07.
last Olymp. Let me see if I can pull it up. His last Olymp. We don't. Once you see Ronnie with a high top fade and a goatee, it's time to quit. No,
That looks like your dad.
yeah. We don't. I don't even know. I didn't even know Ronnie had hair. To be honest. So
Zay's right. 2007. Yeah, fourth place.
What we didn't want to
2007.
see, with all due respect, was those guest posings. He did that for like another 5 years, and I don't know that was rough. That was rough to see.
Yeah, that was
I
really
don't
rough to see.
I don't think we want to see that shit.
I remember the one you're talking about. I remember the one you're talking about where he was in the black boxer briefs with the shades, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Masters O in 2012.
Yeah, I remember that. That was when I was like, yeah, this like it's time to stop, man. It's time to stop.
Yeah.
I can't find the high top, bro. I want to find the high top, Ronnie. Relent.
I don't think I've seen that.
You never seen high top, Ronnie?
I haven't seen it in competition. I've seen it in like gym photos, like the
Damn.
Muscle Time
Mhm.
archives on Instagram.
Yeah,
I
I've
think I
never
have a
seen.
couple
I've never
photos.
seen it.
What's
think
it?
it's
I thought he couldn't
I've
grow
seen
hair.
him.
I thought he
Me
couldn't grow hair
too.
until I saw it in off season. Yeah.
What's that? Damn. What's the last video Ronnie did? When he had it that whole video. Was it not redemption? Fuck. I can't remember it. Let me see. Let me see if I gotta find it. I feel like a lot of people never seen this, Ronnie. Oh, it was called 2007. Yeah. I can't find the name of it, but it was a. Let me pull it up. Let me share the screen since y'all can't. See anything.
Maybe you're talking about the BSN series 06. That's when he was training at Metroflex.
No, he did one. He did a whole DVD before the 2007 Olympia. When he was training at home and his look at it with the fade. He was training at home that whole prep. He trained in his apartment, in his house gym.
Yeah.
But I can't find any stage shots to the 2007 Olympia with Ronnie.
I don't think he took it to the stage, bro. I remember him. I remember seeing him in off season with it, but dude, I didn't even know he could grow hair. I thought he was
me neither.
done.
Me too.
Why did he go bald? Like, why did he?
I don't know, bro.
Makes him look freakier, man.
Didn't Sean
honestly what I was thinking.
Didn't Sean Roden do that? Sean Roden grew hair randomly one year.
Yeah.
2018.
Oh yeah. You're right. He did.
Was that his real hair?
2018. Yeah.
Because he did it.
Yeah, it was.
He did it once. I can't see him wearing a wig, so I'm assuming that's his real hair.
And that front double, that's crazy.
Which one?
On the top, go
Yes.
higher. And it's right there. He's in like pants, bottom right.
Bottom right. Oh yeah. That's the same.
It's crazy.
I don't see
Yeah, I
any
don't
high
think he
top
ever
on
took it to
stage.
stage. He never took it to stage. It was only in the off season. Because even all the photos, like the old time photos of it, it's usually like
Oh, I think you're right. Because look, this is yeah.
That's
I think
07.
I think you're right. I think he cut it off for the stage. He kept it. He kept it the whole prep and then cut it off for the stage. Yeah, I think you're right. Actually,
It's
I-
younger Ronnie that he had he had some hair when he was competing. He was younger.
why did he cut it bald if he had the hair the whole time? That's strange.
You look bigger.
No, you do actually. You're right about that. All
I
right.
don't want to hear
it's a
it.
different
but
time.
You're right.
Or like Konevsky, when he shaved the beard, bro, he looks huge actually. Because I saw him recently, and because he has no beard, like his shoulders are like this now, bro. It's the hair makes you look not as big actually. All right, I think that's a wrap. I think we covered all our bases, gentlemen. All right, so
Sure.
Oh, Classic
So, pretty
UK is
good.
up next
Pretty good.
weekend.
Oh,
If
is it
Hottie
next week?
makes it, yeah. If Hottie makes it, he's got it. I don't know if he'll make it though.
you think he's gonna make it?
I don't know. Is Rafael Brandao doing it? Or is he doing the?
I don't-
Rafa's doing Brazil.
I think he's. Just
I
doing
didn't-
Brazil.
Yeah, I didn't see Ralph on. I didn't see Ralph
Rafa-
on it. I saw it somewhere,
Rafa's doing
right?
Brazil. They have Arnold UK. They have their own Instagram page.
On the UK, or do they?
Yeah, but
And they have
Rafa's
the-
still in Brazil.
Let me
UK.
see. Oh, this is it? Okay.
Yep.
And they have the competitor list.
They had it. I guess it's not
Oh, I
bad.
took it off. I saw it somewhere. I saw it. I think
It said Hardy pending.
it
Yeah.
did. Okay, there you go.
There we go.
All right, well.
Damn, it's only potentially only 6 guys. Huh? Or you gonna be
Oh,
top
James
6?
is doing it too? I didn't know James was
I feel like-
doing it.
I mean, James from the UK, bro.
Yeah,
Of
but I
course.
mean, I didn't know if he was gonna.
Do it. Oh,
Yeah.
speaking about that, James. I don't want to keep the podcast going. I might have to cover it the next episode. But yeah, James said he's prepped himself, but he always kind of does technically.
Yeah.
I've got
I
to keep
can't-
second on this one.
You know what? Well, you know, there's always the if, right? If he's where he needs to be.
I saw him yesterday, and he was in good spirits, man. I saw him at Strong and Shapely, and he
Mhm.
said they didn't do anything different between prejudging and finals
That's what I heard.
for the Arnold. So he
His
told
body
me
just peaked.
straight up. Yeah, he
Yeah.
just peaked. So I think he's going to be ready on this one. I have him in second.
He
so we'll see.
he gotta survive that 12-hour flight.
Yeah, he's leaving on Tuesday, so he's got a couple
he got
days.
time. He's got
Yeah.
time. He got time. You got to walk around the plane and shit. But yeah, if I don't see Hadi being that pressed to show up, so if he's still trying to get a visa, Hani said he's still trying to get a visa, so I don't know. If you're pending, 6 days out, I don't know what that
He's not
looks
doing
like.
it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
He's got his 500K, 300K, and he's good to go. He's not doing it.
Yeah,
He's proven his point. He's proven his point.
He did. He just had to beat Samson pretty much. All right.
He needs to learn English, bro. At least a fucking thank you or some shit.
At least the fucking thing.
All right, Fade.
All right.
Take it
It's
easy,
true.
Zay. But all right, gentlemen. I'm gonna pause it first, and then before I log off. So, goodbye, people.
Bye.
Bye.